Every successful person has the same 24 hours in a day. What they do with those hours is the real difference. It's not about working harder or having more time. It's about how they use each moment to build progress, stay focused, and create momentum that pushes them forward. Imagine waking up feeling clear, confident, and energized because you know exactly how to turn small actions into powerful wins. How would it feel to finally break free from distractions, frustration, and self-doubt? This audiobook will show you the real habits behind success, revealing how daily choices shape your future more than any big event ever could. Stick with me and discover how to take control of your time, build unstoppable momentum, and transform your life step by step. You're about to learn what separates those who get results from those who only dream. Let's get started. Chapter 1. Own your morning by waking up with purpose. Every day begins with a choice. Not just whether or not you'll get out of bed, but who you decide to be when your feet touch the floor. Successful people don't leave this choice to chance. They don't hit snooze and drift through their mornings in a fog. They wake up on purpose, with intention and with clarity. They understand that how you begin your day shapes everything that comes after it. That early hour, when the world is still quiet and your mind is free from noise, holds a powerful opportunity. It is not just about waking up early. It's about waking up for something. Most people drag themselves into the morning. Their alarms go off, and they're already behind. Their thoughts are racing. They're checking notifications, scrolling through distractions, and reacting to the day before they've even started it. That's not how winners operate. Successful people start their day ahead of the curve because they own their mornings. They don't let the morning own them. They have trained themselves to see those early hours not as a chore but as a gift, a sacred space to sharpen their mind, center their emotions, and focus their energy before the noise begins. Waking up with purpose doesn't start when the alarm rings. It starts the night before. If you go to bed without direction, you wake up lost. Purpose comes from clarity, and clarity comes from preparation. Before you close your eyes at night, know why you'll be getting up the next morning. Know what matters. Know what you need to do, who you want to become, and what kind of energy you want to bring into your life. Most people set alarms but never set intentions. Start doing both. Success doesn't begin when the world is watching. It begins when no one sees. The early hours are when you build your edge. That's when the average person is still in bed, chasing dreams that die in sleep, while the successful one is up chasing reality and building the life they talk about. And what separates the two is not motivation, it's structure, commitment, and purpose. You don't need to feel like waking up early. You need to wake up because it is the path that aligns with your goals. When you wake up, don't check your phone. Don't consume the world before you've grounded yourself. Your phone pulls you into other people's agendas. The moment you start scrolling, you're letting noise guide you. Instead, stay still. Breathe. Sit in silence. Be present. Let your mind settle. Ask yourself a simple question. What am I doing today that makes me better than yesterday? This one question can change the direction of your entire life if you ask it every morning and act on it. Start by creating a morning routine that is simple, strong, and unshakable. You don't need to do what influencers do. You don't need ice baths or a 2-hour meditation if that's not for you. What you need is something you can repeat every single day. Something that builds your discipline, strengthens your focus, and reminds you who you are. For some, it's a quiet walk. For others, it's journaling, reading, or a powerful workout. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that it's intentional and it sets the tone for the rest of your day. Discipline begins in the morning. When you train yourself to get up, when it's hard, you start your day with a victory. It's not about whether you feel like it. It's about proving to yourself that you are in control. Every morning you wake up early, even when you don't want to. You build a little more strength inside. You sharpen your character. You build self-respect. You tell your mind, I run this. And over time that mindset becomes your identity. That's how confidence is built, not through luck or fake positivity, but through small, consistent wins that no one sees but you feel deeply. Your morning is also your quiet time to check in with your values. What do you stand for? What kind of life are you building? What kind of person are you becoming? Successful people don't chase random goals. They align their actions with their values. They live intentionally. And the best time to connect with those values is before the chaos of the day begins. Take a few minutes every morning to remind yourself what you're doing all this for. When your why is strong, your how becomes unshakable. Energy matters. Purpose creates energy. When you wake up with no direction, you feel tired. Not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. You start dragging. You lose focus. You slip into survival mode. But when you wake up with a mission, even a small one, you feel alive. You move differently. You think clearly. You act with precision. Energy doesn't come from caffeine. It comes from purpose. Every successful person you admire has one thing in common: they live with clarity. They don't stumble into the day. They shape it. Don't wait for motivation to show up. It rarely does. Instead, rely on systems. Wake up at the same time every day. Build habits that you can perform on autopilot. Your brain loves routine. When your routine is strong, your discipline requires less effort. That's why people who consistently win aren't stronger than you. They've just mastered their systems. They've made winning automatic. Their mornings are rituals, intentional sequences that lead them toward growth, focus, and performance. You also have to protect your mornings. That means guarding your time and energy. If you're constantly waking up for other people's problems, you'll never create your own solutions. Don't let emails, texts, or social media hijack your peace. Start your day on your terms. Even 30 minutes of silence and solitude can completely shift your mindset. That short period is your space to breathe, to think clearly, and to reconnect with who you are without the outside world drowning you in noise. Many people wake up already anxious. Their minds are racing. Their bodies feel heavy. They're reacting to life instead of living it. You don't have to live like that. You can wake up grounded, focused, and calm if you build that into your mornings. That means being honest with yourself. It means asking tough questions. What time did I go to sleep? Why am I waking up already stressed? What needs to change? Improvement begins with awareness. And awareness begins in the morning. There will be days when you feel tired, overwhelmed, or unmotivated. Those are the most important mornings to own. Those are the days that define you. Anyone can wake up early when life is easy. The real test is what you do when life feels heavy. Do you rise or do you fall? Do you keep your promise to yourself, or do you retreat back into comfort? Successful people aren't perfect. They're not always excited. They just keep showing up. That's the secret. Owning your morning also means facing discomfort head-on. The bed will feel comfortable. Your excuses will sound convincing. But your goals don't care how you feel. They care what you do. Get up anyway. Move anyway. Do what needs to be done because your future depends on it. Every morning you delay is a lost opportunity to improve. Your time is not infinite. One day, you'll wish you had these mornings back. Use them now while you still can. The truth is, your morning sets the tone for your self-respect. When you keep your morning promises to yourself, you feel powerful. When you break them, you weaken your trust in yourself. That's why most people feel stuck. They keep letting themselves down in the first hour of the day. Stop doing that. Take back control. Wake up early. Do what you said you'd do. Start building a version of yourself that you are proud to live with. You don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. You don't have to copy someone else's morning routine. You just have to create a system that makes you feel grounded, focused, and strong. Maybe for you it's waking up at 6, journaling for 10 minutes, stretching and reading one chapter of a book that challenges you. Maybe it's a quiet coffee, a cold shower, and writing down your top 3 priorities. Whatever it is, make it yours. Own it. Repeat it. Protect it. The key is consistency. One great morning won't change your life, but one disciplined morning, repeated every day, absolutely will. That's how you transform, not through massive changes, but through steady, intentional actions performed over time. Successful people didn't become who they are in a week. They became that way by showing up for themselves every morning, especially when no one was watching. Your life reflects what you repeatedly do. If you keep waking up late, checking your phone, rushing through your morning, and reacting to life, you'll stay stuck. But if you wake up with intention, follow a simple routine, and move with purpose, you will rise, slowly, steadily, powerfully. You will become someone others look up to, not because you're perfect, but because you mastered the first hour of your day. And that mastery over the first hour will ripple into every other hour. So begin tomorrow with intention. Don't just wake up. Wake up with purpose. Wake up for your goals. Wake up for your future. Wake up to prove to yourself that you are serious about your growth. Because once you own your morning, you begin to own your life. And that is where real success begins. Chapter 2. Plan your day before distractions steal your focus. You either master your day or your day masters you. And once it slips through your fingers, you don't get it back. Most people wake up and dive straight into a world they didn't design. They check their phones, scroll endlessly, get hit with texts, news demands, before they even decide what they want out of the day. That's how average lives are built. Not out of malice or bad luck, but out of poor preparation. The truth is, if you don't plan your day with intention, you'll become part of someone else's. You'll chase problems that aren't yours. You'll answer to priorities that don't serve your purpose. And worst of all, you'll go to sleep with that gut-punching feeling. You were busy, but not productive. You were moving, but not progressing. You were alive, but not fulfilled. This is where things change. Before the world starts making noise, successful people sit with silence. They decide what matters most before the chaos begins. They know that the first moments of the day are sacred, because they shape everything that follows. Planning your day isn't a luxury. It's not something motivated people do because they have more energy. It's a survival strategy for clarity, purpose, and progress in a distracted world. And the most powerful part, it only takes a few minutes to take control of the next 16 hours. If you want to live intentionally, you must think intentionally. Your day begins the moment you decide what it's going to be about. This isn't about writing endless to-do lists. It's about setting a clear direction so your energy flows where it matters. Without a plan, your brain gets hijacked by every shiny thing, every notification, every urgent but meaningless distraction. You stay stuck in reaction mode, jumping from one task to the next, burning out, wondering why nothing ever gets done. You need to become the architect of your time. Every minute has value. Every block of your schedule is an investment, and every decision to plan ahead is a vote for the person you want to become. You don't need fancy journals, productivity apps, or a morning routine that looks like a YouTube montage. You just need to stop, think, and choose. Choose what matters. Choose what matters. Choose what deserves your energy. Choose what aligns with your goals. Even 10 minutes of intentional planning each morning can transform your entire life. Why? Because it forces you to think with clarity instead of moving through the day like a sleepwalker. Here's what successful people do. They sit down with their goals, and they break them into pieces small enough to fit inside a single day. They don't try to do everything. They choose what matters most. They schedule their priorities, not just their obligations. They don't wait to find time. They make time. They don't hope the day goes well. They create structure that makes it impossible not to. Planning your day doesn't mean locking yourself into a rigid system. It means giving yourself direction. It means eliminating the mental friction of asking, "What should I do next?" every 10 minutes. It means reducing decision fatigue so you can focus deeply, move quickly, and actually finish what you start. The people who build extraordinary lives don't rely on willpower. They rely on systems that start with one thing, deciding what matters before the noise begins. The power of planning isn't in the plan itself, it's in what the plan prevents. It prevents you from becoming reactive. It prevents wasted hours. It prevents overwhelm. When you plan your day before distractions take over, you're saying, "I know what I'm about, I know where I'm going, and I won't give my time to anything that doesn't move me forward." So what does this actually look like? You wake up. Before checking anything external, you check in with yourself. You ask, what are the top 3 things I must get done today to feel like I moved forward? What's the one thing I've been avoiding that would create the biggest result if I just faced it head on? What blocks of time can I protect for deep, focused work that builds the life I want, not the life others expect of me? You write those answers down. Not 10 tasks, not 20, just the vital few that make everything else easier or irrelevant. This is the 80-20th rule in action. 80% of your results will come from 20% of your effort. But only if you decide where that 20% goes. Then you ask the second layer of questions. What distractions can I expect today? What noise is likely to pull me off track? Who's likely to call, message, interrupt, or demand something that doesn't align with my goals? And what will I say, do, or set up in advance to protect my time? This level of self-awareness creates power. It's not about being rigid, it's about being prepared. So when the distractions show up, and they will, you're ready. You already know what deserves your attention. You already know what you're willing to trade your time for. And that clarity becomes your armor. Planning also gives you emotional stability. Because when you know what you're doing and why you're doing it, stress disappears. Anxiety loses its grip. The fog of uncertainty clears. You stop overthinking and start executing. Most people don't lack discipline, they lack clarity. They don't know what they should be doing, so they drift. They scroll. They procrastinate. But when your priorities are right in front of you, you eliminate guesswork. You stop arguing with yourself in your head. You just do. And momentum builds. You don't need to plan every second of your day. But the more control you take over your time, the more control you take over your life. You're not a robot, but you do need structure. Without structure, your mind will default to whatever is easiest, and ease rarely leads to growth. You have to challenge that comfort every single day, not by working yourself into the ground, but by owning your choices with intention. Discipline isn't about being harsh. It's about being free. When you decide how your day will go, you're not just being productive, you're reclaiming your power. You're refusing to be a passive participant in your own life. You're acting, not reacting. And that is rare. Most people are asleep, even when they're awake. They follow a routine they never chose. They answer to alarms they didn't set. They respond to messages that don't matter. But that doesn't have to be you. You can interrupt that autopilot. You can step back, take a breath, and design your life by the hour, the minute, the moment. Every day that passes without a plan is a missed opportunity. And those missed days become missed weeks, then missed years, then regret. But when you plan, truly plan with intention and honesty, you'll feel a shift. Your mind sharpens. Your energy increases. Your work deepens. Your self-respect grows. Because you're no longer living by chance, you're living by choice. This isn't about hustle culture. This is about awareness, knowing what matters, cutting what doesn't, creating days that feel aligned with who you are and what you want. It's easy to say you're too busy to plan, but if you're too busy to plan, you're too busy to win. Planning doesn't take time. It saves time. It doesn't slow you down. It clears the path so you can move faster, with fewer mistakes, less burnout, and more satisfaction. You don't have to do everything today, but you do have to choose what you'll do. And just as importantly, what you won't. The most successful people aren't working more hours. They're working fewer wasted hours. They're not running harder. They're running in the right direction. And that direction is chosen before distractions ever get the chance to interfere. There will always be things pulling at your attention. The question is, will you let them? Every day begins with a choice. Surrender your time or own it. Let chaos win or bring order to it. Wait to see what happens or decide what happens. You've got the power to design a day that changes everything. But it starts before the noise. It starts in stillness. It starts with the courage to ask, what matters most? And the discipline to say, that's what I'm doing. Nothing else. Start tomorrow with a plan. Not a vague intention, a real written plan. Guard it like your life depends on it, because in a way it does. A well-planned day compounds. It becomes a week of clarity, a month of progress, a year of impact, and a life you can be proud of. So stop letting distractions write your story. Take the pen, plan the day, and live it like it was built for your greatness. Because it was. Chapter 3. Protect your time by saying no with confidence. If you don't learn how to say no, your life will be lived for everyone but you. Too many people wake up every day already overwhelmed, not because they lack time, but because they've handed it away piece by piece. One reluctant yes at a time. They say yes to favors they never wanted to do, yes to meetings that shouldn't exist, yes to phone calls that drain them, yes to people who take and take but never give back. And over time, those yeses become a cage, not of steel, but of silent resentment, exhaustion, and self-betrayal. If that sounds familiar, it's time to wake up, because this life isn't a dress rehearsal. And every second you spend living on someone else's terms is a second you'll never get back. You weren't born to be everyone's convenience. You weren't built to be available 24/7. Your value is not measured by how much of yourself you sacrifice. It's measured by how powerfully you protect what matters most to you. And if you don't guard your time like it's sacred, the world will treat it like it's worthless. The problem is, most people have been trained to believe that saying no is rude, that it's selfish, that it makes you a bad person. But let me tell you something that might change your life. Saying no is not disrespectful. It's one of the highest forms of self-respect. It means you've stopped negotiating with your own well-being just to avoid someone else's discomfort. It means you've finally decided that your energy, your peace, and your purpose matter more than pleasing everyone around you. There's a moment in every life where you realize that your calendar is your battlefield, that your hours are under siege, that your attention is being hijacked by people, tasks, and commitments that pull you further and further from who you're meant to become. And in that moment, the only way forward is this. You learn to say no with clarity, with conviction, without guilt, without apology. Here's the truth. Your time is either being protected or exploited. There is no in-between. You're either designing a life around your values or being pulled into lives that don't align with yours. The cost of saying yes to the wrong things isn't just time, it's momentum, it's focus, it's inner peace, and eventually it's identity. You stop recognizing yourself. You feel tired all the time but don't know why. You keep doing things that feel like obligations but never feel like growth. You keep showing up for everyone, except the one person who needs you the most, you. Learning to say no isn't about becoming cold. It's about becoming clear. It's not about rejecting people. It's about accepting yourself. It's about creating boundaries that say, this is what I stand for, this is what I will allow, and this is where I draw the line. Every time you say no to something that doesn't align, you say yes to something that does. Yes to your goals, yes to your mental clarity, yes to the relationships that truly matter, yes to the dreams you keep putting on hold. Saying no is how you reclaim your life from the grip of obligation and expectation. But let's be honest, this isn't easy, especially if you've been a lifelong people pleaser, especially if you've been conditioned to believe that your worth comes from being liked. But here's the shift. Being liked is not the same as being respected. You might lose approval when you start saying no, but you gain something far more powerful: your freedom. Let me say this directly. You do not owe anyone access to your time. Not everyone deserves your energy. Not every request deserves a response. And not every invitation is meant for you. The sooner you realize that, the sooner you'll start living a life that feels aligned instead of scattered. There's a deep fear that saying no will lead to rejection, that people will be upset, disappointed, maybe even angry. But what's worse, someone being disappointed in you for one moment, or you being disappointed in yourself for a lifetime. You weren't put on this earth to carry the emotional weight of every person who can't handle boundaries. Your job isn't to manage their reactions. Your job is to protect your priorities. Some of the most successful, fulfilled people you know are ruthless with their time, not because they're arrogant, but because they understand something the average person doesn't. Every yes you give away is a promise, and every promise comes with a cost. If you keep promising yourself away without checking your energy, your direction, and your values, you'll wake up one day and realize you've built a life for everyone but you. Saying no is a muscle. It starts weak, it trembles, it feels uncomfortable, but the more you use it, the stronger it gets. You stop explaining yourself. You stop softening the blow. You stop apologizing for choosing yourself. And you start standing in your power, not with aggression but with clarity. Try this. The next time someone asks for your time, pause. Don't answer immediately. Take a breath. Ask yourself, does this align with my values? Does this move me forward? Does this feel light or heavy? Is this request coming from a place of mutual respect, or is it manipulation in disguise? Then answer accordingly. Say it simply. Say it calmly. Say it firmly. No story. No backpedaling. Just a direct and honest no. No, I won't be able to do that. No, that doesn't align with my priorities right now. No, thank you. That's it. You don't owe more. You don't need to justify. You don't need a 5-paragraph essay on why your time matters. The more you explain, the more you open the door for negotiation, and your life is not up for debate. The more confidently you say no, the more you teach people how to treat you. You send a message, not just to them but to yourself. You say, I matter. My time matters. My purpose matters. That message creates alignment, and alignment creates power. Imagine waking up tomorrow and knowing that everything on your schedule is there because you chose it. Not because someone guilt-tripped you, not because you were afraid of conflict, but because you honored your own path. That's not selfish. That's self-leadership. That's the kind of life you build when you stop being everything for everyone and start becoming something for yourself. You're not here to fill everyone's cup while yours runs empty. You're not responsible for their reactions. You're responsible for your direction. The moment you begin living like your time is priceless, others will follow your lead. Some will resist. Some will fade. But the ones who matter, the ones who love you, respect you, and understand the value of a person on a mission, they will support you. They will adapt. And if they don't, let them go. Because here's the secret. When you start saying no, you start creating room for the right yeses. Yes to peace. Yes to purpose. Yes to presence. You stop chasing approval and start attracting alignment. You stop managing chaos and start building clarity. And that shift changes everything, not just for your schedule but for your soul. You become more focused, more energized, more intentional, more you. Because the real you was never the version that said yes out of fear. The real you is the version that says yes from a place of clarity and confidence, and no without hesitation. You owe it to yourself to build a life you don't need to escape from. And that begins with one powerful, liberating word. No. Say it with strength. Say it with love. Say it like your life depends on it. Because in a world that's constantly demanding more of you, your ability to say no is what gives you back your life. Start today. Protect your time. Guard your peace. Respect your mission. Say no, so you can finally say yes to what really matters. Chapter 4. Prioritize your tasks by doing what matters first. If you want to change the trajectory of your life, the first battle you must win each day is deciding what truly deserves your attention and doing that first. Too often, we dive into the chaos of our days without a clear sense of what really matters. We let urgent but unimportant tasks steal our energy, distracting us from the few actions that could create massive results. The world will always offer distractions disguised as necessities, emails that scream for instant replies, social media alerts promising connection but delivering emptiness, meetings that drag on without purpose. If you let these control your agenda, your goals will forever remain out of reach. Your dreams will be crowded out by busy work, and your potential will be smothered beneath a mountain of trivial tasks. But what if the secret to unstoppable progress isn't doing more, but doing less? What if the key to unlocking your greatness lies in ruthlessly prioritizing what matters most and attacking those priorities with relentless focus? This is not about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's about mastering the skill that separates the overwhelmed from the unstoppable, the ability to identify the few critical tasks that shape your destiny and completing those before anything else. Imagine waking up every morning with a clear plan to tackle your highest impact work first. Imagine the satisfaction of crossing off the single most important task before distractions even begin to knock on your door. When you do what matters first, you build momentum. You create a foundation of accomplishment that fuels your confidence and propels you through the rest of the day. This approach is rooted in a powerful truth: not all tasks are created equal. Some are time traps that drain your energy and deliver little value. Others move the needle forward in ways that ripple through every area of your life. The difference between success and stagnation lies in your ability to distinguish between these and commit your best energy to what counts. One of the greatest mistakes people make is falling into the trap of urgency. Urgency feels real because it demands immediate attention. A notification pops up, a deadline looms, or someone calls for help, and suddenly you're pulled away from your priorities. But urgency is a tyrant disguised as a friend. It tricks you into confusing activity with progress. You become busy, but not productive. You fill your hours but empty your vision. To reclaim control, you must learn to recognize the difference between urgent and important. Important tasks are aligned with your long-term goals, values, and growth. They might not scream for immediate action, but they carry the weight of meaningful impact. Urgent tasks, on the other hand, demand speed but often lack significance. They are the noise around your purpose, not the voice of it. This is where prioritizing by doing what matters first becomes your ultimate weapon. When you start your day by completing your most important task, the one that advances your mission, you set the tone for everything that follows. You declare to yourself and the world that your time is not for squandering. You protect your progress from the chaos that waits patiently to distract you. It takes courage to ignore the clamoring calls of lesser tasks and focus on the heavy weight of your to-do list. But courage is exactly what you need to step into the life you want. It's easy to give in to the temptation of immediate gratification, the dopamine hit of quick tasks checked off your list. But real satisfaction comes from doing what matters, even when it's hard, even when it requires delaying the easy wins. The rewards are transformative. When you prioritize effectively, your productivity skyrockets. You accomplish more with less effort because you're directing your energy where it counts. You experience less stress because you're not scrambling to fix problems created by neglecting your priorities. You cultivate a mindset of intentionality where every decision supports your vision. There's a psychological edge here as well. The brain craves accomplishment. Checking off a major task releases chemicals that boost motivation and reduce procrastination. By starting with what matters, you harness this natural momentum. The rest of the day becomes easier, your willpower stronger, and your distractions less tempting. The challenge, of course, is how to choose that one task. How do you know which to tackle first? The answer lies in clarity. Take time, ideally at the end of each day, or first thing in the morning, to identify the single task that will create the biggest impact toward your goals. Ask yourself, which activity, if done today, will move me closer to my vision more than any other? What has the potential to open doors, solve a major problem, or generate significant progress? Once identified, commit to completing that task before checking emails, scrolling social media, or responding to anything that doesn't serve your purpose. Treat it like a sacred appointment with yourself that cannot be missed or postponed. Guard that time fiercely. This simple shift rewires how you engage with your work and your life. You stop reacting to external demands and start creating your own agenda. You take back the driver's seat from distraction and busyness. And as you do this consistently, you'll notice your days transform from chaotic and unfulfilling to focused and purposeful. Stories of those who mastered this principle abound. Entrepreneurs who built empires by dedicating mornings to their top priorities before the noise began. Writers who produced bestsellers by locking in hours on their most important chapters first. Athletes who improved performance by attacking foundational training rather than chasing every shiny new exercise. They all discovered the same secret. When you prioritize what matters first, everything else falls into place. This isn't just about work. It applies to relationships, health, and personal growth. Maybe the most important task today is calling a loved one to repair a bond, or taking a moment to meditate and center yourself before the day sweeps you away, or choosing to nourish your body with wholesome food instead of quick convenience. Whatever your goal, prioritizing means putting the highest value action first, no matter how uncomfortable or inconvenient. It requires discipline to resist the siren call of distraction. It requires bravery to confront the difficult, important tasks that push you beyond your comfort zone. But the payoff is freedom. The freedom to build a life that feels aligned, productive, and deeply satisfying. The transformation begins with a choice. Will you let your day be hijacked by the trivial, or will you take control and lead with what matters most? Will you settle for spinning your wheels, or will you drive forward with clarity and purpose? This moment right now is your invitation. Don't let another day pass you by, scattered and overwhelmed. Choose to prioritize your tasks not by what's easiest or loudest, but by what truly matters. Attack your highest impact work first, protect that time fiercely, and watch how your life shifts from busy chaos to powerful creation. Start this practice today. Decide on your most important task and do it first. Protect it like your future depends on it, because it does. Let this be the foundation of a new life, where focus fuels your success and progress becomes your daily reality. You have the power to change your habits, change your mindset, and change your life. It all begins with prioritizing your tasks by doing what matters first. Don't wait. Your future self is counting on the choices you make right now. Rise with purpose, focus with intensity, and move relentlessly toward the life you were born to live. Chapter 5. Move your body daily to fuel your inner drive. If you want to break free from stagnation and light a fire in your soul, start by moving your body, because nothing changes in your life until you change your state. Every single day, people wake up feeling tired, stuck, uninspired. They scroll endlessly, hoping to find motivation in a quote, a video, or a quick hit of dopamine. But what they really need isn't on their phone. It's not in a book. It's not waiting in a podcast. What they need, what you need, is to reconnect with your body. The fastest way to awaken your inner power is to use your body to command your mind. Movement is energy, and energy is everything. When you move with intention, you change your focus, you elevate your mood, you unlock a version of yourself that's been buried beneath inactivity and excuses. Think about the last time you felt truly alive. I'm talking about a moment when your heart was racing, your lungs were working, and your blood was pumping with purpose. That was your body reminding you what you're capable of. That was your potential waking up. That was you breaking free from inertia. You don't need to be a fitness freak. You don't need fancy equipment, a gym membership, or the perfect plan. What you need is to start. Walk around the block, stretch for 10 minutes, do push-ups until your arms tremble. It doesn't matter how small it is, it matters that you move. Every time you choose movement over comfort, you reclaim a little more power. You shift from passive to active. You move from watching life to participating in it. There's a war happening every day inside your mind. One side says, stay still, you're tired. You can do it later. The other side whispers, just start. 5 minutes. Get your blood flowing. Prove to yourself that you still have control. The side you feed is the side that wins. Movement is not just about health, it's about identity. It's about reminding yourself who you are when you stop making excuses. It's about feeling powerful again, grounded again, fully awake again. When you move, you're not just building muscle, you're building momentum, and momentum is the force that changes lives. Because once you get moving, you start seeing things differently. Suddenly, the problems that looked overwhelming start to shrink. The fog that clouded your thinking begins to lift. The anxiety that sat heavy on your chest begins to fade. You stop feeling like a victim and start acting like a creator. Your physiology influences your psychology. Slouch all day, and your thoughts follow. Stand tall, move with energy, breathe with strength, and your mind shifts to match it. If you want to feel unstoppable, don't wait for motivation. Create it with motion. Build the discipline to move your body every single day, no matter what mood you're in, and your life will change in ways you can't yet imagine. Your body is your tool. It's your machine. It's the vehicle through which you pursue your goals, face your battles, and experience this life. But if you don't use it, it weakens. If you don't challenge it, it declines. And when the body gets weaker, the mind follows. The connection is undeniable. That's why you can't afford to treat movement like an option. It's a necessity. It's the foundation of strength, clarity, and purpose. Think about what happens when you skip days of movement. You feel sluggish, you lose focus, you get irritated by little things. Your energy drops. You become more reactive and less resilient. But now think about the opposite. Think about how you feel after a workout, a long walk, or even just stretching your entire body. You feel more awake, more capable, more connected to your purpose. You remember that you're not just surviving, you're here to thrive. Daily movement becomes a silent ritual of self-respect. It says, I care enough about my future to challenge myself today. It's not about chasing a number on a scale. It's about sharpening your spirit, strengthening your will, tuning into your most alive, grounded and focused self. Every drop of sweat, every repetition, every step is a vote for the person you're becoming. Some people say they don't have time, but here's the truth. It's not a time problem, it's a priority problem. You find time for what matters to you, and if becoming stronger, more energized, more focused, more capable truly matters, you'll make time to move. Even if it's just 15 minutes. Even if it's just bodyweight squats in your room. That effort compounds, that discipline builds, and slowly the excuses fade and a new identity takes hold. The real transformation doesn't come from doing something once. It comes from doing it daily, from turning a habit into a lifestyle, from letting consistency speak louder than motivation. When you commit to moving your body every day, no matter how you feel, you create an unstoppable momentum that bleeds into every area of your life. You stop hesitating. You stop overthinking. you stop doubting yourself. Because each day, you're proving to yourself that you are in control, that you have what it takes, that you're not waiting for life to change, you're becoming the force that changes it. That's where confidence comes from. That's where resilience is born. That's where your inner drive begins to roar. There will be days when you don't feel like it. Days when your mind tells you to rest. But don't listen to your feelings, listen to your vision. Your goals don't care how you feel. Your future doesn't care if you're tired. What matters is whether you act, whether you rise, whether you step into the discomfort and move anyway. On those days when resistance feels strong, remember this: motion defeats emotion. When your mind is clouded, move. When your spirit feels crushed, move. When you feel stuck, angry, lost, or overwhelmed, move. Let your body guide you back to clarity. Use movement as your anchor, your outlet, your weapon. This discipline of daily movement will not only change your energy, it will change your identity. You'll start seeing yourself as someone who follows through, someone who shows up, someone who refuses to let laziness steal another opportunity. You'll carry yourself differently, speak differently, think differently, because your body has become a mirror of your inner strength. This is not about chasing perfection. It's about progress. It's about choosing effort over excuses, again and again. It's about knowing that each small step matters. Each drop of sweat matters. Each decision to move, no matter how small, is shaping your future. And here's the beautiful truth. The more you move, the more you'll want to move. Momentum creates desire. Energy builds on energy. And before long, it's no longer something you have to do. It's something you crave, something you look forward to. Because it no longer feels like a chore. It feels like freedom. So if you feel stuck right now, physically, mentally, emotionally, don't wait for some perfect plan. Don't wait for inspiration. Just move. Walk, run, stretch, dance, jump, breathe deeply. Feel your heart pounding, and let that rhythm remind you that you're alive, that you're capable, that you're just getting started. You don't need to conquer the world today. You just need to move. That's the spark. That's the ignition switch for everything else. Move your body daily, and your inner drive will awaken. Move your body, and your confidence will grow. Move your body, and your entire life will begin to shift. This is your turning point. This is where your story changes, not by chance, but by choice. Don't wait for the perfect time. The perfect time is the moment you stop negotiating with your excuses and start acting on your potential. Move your body daily, and you will discover a power inside you that nothing can stop. Your next level is waiting. It's on the other side of action, on the other side of resistance, on the other side of just one decision: to move. Start now. Start today. And don't ever stop. Move with purpose. Move with discipline. Move with passion. And watch as the fire inside you grows stronger every single day. Chapter 6. Eliminate time-wasting habits with brutal honesty now. You're not stuck because life is unfair. You're stuck because you're silently addicted to habits that are stealing your time, and deep down you already know it. The truth is, most people aren't living at 10% of their potential, not because they lack talent, drive, or opportunity, but because they waste hours every day doing things that add nothing to their growth. Hours disappear scrolling, binge-watching, procrastinating, overthinking, and distracting themselves from the pain of facing the truth. And if you don't call it out now, if you don't face those habits with ruthless honesty, they will rob you of the life you were meant to live. This isn't about guilt. This is about awareness. Because until you see the trap, you can't escape it. And the biggest trap isn't laziness, it's unconscious living. It's letting your days slip away without question. It's watching your phone instead of your dreams. It's numbing yourself when you should be fighting for your future. You can't fix what you won't admit. That's the line that separates people who grow from people who stay stuck. You've got to be willing to look in the mirror and ask, where am I wasting my life? That takes courage. Brutal honesty. No more sugarcoating. No more pretending. No more telling yourself you're just relaxing when you're actually running away from responsibility. This is your wake-up call. The habits that destroy your time aren't always loud. They don't crash through your front door screaming. They creep in slowly, disguised as just 5 more minutes. One more episode, one more scroll, one more pointless argument. And suddenly you've lost another hour, another day, another year, and you didn't even realize it was happening. What if I told you the biggest enemy of your success isn't something out there? It's right in your hand, right in your pocket, right on your screen. Distraction has become a lifestyle, comfort has become a drug, and the price? It's your goals, your clarity, your purpose, your time. Nobody ever plans to waste their life, but it happens by default when you don't choose with intention. And the only way to get it back is with brutal honesty. You have to audit your habits like your life depends on it, because it does. Every moment you spend on something meaningless is a moment stolen from what truly matters. From building, from growing, from evolving. You want to change your life? Start by cutting the dead weight. Track your time like it's your most valuable currency. Because it is. Where does it go? Be honest. How much of your day is spent mindlessly consuming instead of creating? How much is spent reacting instead of acting? How much time slips through your fingers because you're avoiding discomfort? The truth is uncomfortable, but it's also freeing, because once you see the problem clearly, you can start fixing it. You can start making different choices. You can stop justifying habits that make you weaker. And you can start building habits that make you unshakable. It starts with awareness, but it doesn't end there. You have to replace the habits that steal your time with ones that build your life. Swap scrolling for journaling. Replace passive consumption with focused execution. Trade hours of avoidance for 30 minutes of uncomfortable progress. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be easy, but it has to be real. And it has to start now. Not tomorrow. Not next Monday. Not after one last binge. Now. Because if you don't break the cycle now, it will repeat. That's what time-wasting habits do. They keep you trapped in loops. They give you just enough pleasure to keep you hooked, but never enough progress to set you free. And here's the part most people never tell you: breaking these habits hurts. It feels like losing a part of yourself, because for so long, those distractions were your escape. They were your comfort. They were the illusion of control when everything else felt overwhelming. But they're not your friends. They're your chains. And if you want freedom, you have to let them go. Start with one habit, one decision, one brutal act of honesty. Identify the biggest thief of your time and cut it off. Don't negotiate. Don't rationalize. Just let it go. You won't feel ready. Do it anyway. Because the longer you wait, the harder it gets. Habits don't die easily. They fight back. But if you stay committed, they will break. And when they do, something powerful happens. You get your time back. Your focus sharpens. Your confidence rises. You stop living on autopilot and start living on purpose. Suddenly, You have hours you didn't even realize were available. Energy you thought you'd lost. A mind that's clear, instead of fogged by constant distraction. This isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming intentional, deliberate, focused. It's about learning to live each day with awareness, so you don't look back with regret. Because one day you will look back, and the question will be simple. Did I use my time, or did I waste it? The clock is ticking. Life doesn't wait. And the longer you indulge in habits that waste your time, the further you drift from your potential. Don't let your future be shaped by 5-second decisions you make out of boredom or fear. Rise above the noise. Take back control. You don't need a miracle. You need responsibility. You need to own your choices, your minutes, your mindset. The more honest you are with yourself, the more power you reclaim. Most people avoid this because it's uncomfortable, but comfort never changed a life. Painful truth is the starting point of real transformation. You already know what needs to go. You already know what's stealing your time. You don't need more information. You need action. You need to interrupt the cycle. Set boundaries. Delete the apps. Turn off the notifications. Schedule your time with intention. Remove the triggers that lead you back to the habits that weaken you. At first you'll feel resistance. That's normal. But push through it. With each day it gets easier. With each decision, your mind rewires. You're no longer the person who wastes time. You're becoming the person who owns it, who protects it, who uses it to build something meaningful. You want to feel powerful again. You want to feel proud of yourself. Then stop running from discipline. Step into it. Embrace it. Let it become your new comfort zone. Because discipline isn't punishment. It's the path to freedom. It's what separates the dreamers from the doers, the wishers from the warriors. You've got one life, one shot, and the only way to make it count is to eliminate what doesn't serve you, ruthlessly, fearlessly, honestly. The world won't hand you time. You have to take it back. Protect it. Prioritize it. Use it to create something extraordinary. So ask yourself right now, what are you wasting your time on? Be brutally honest. Write it down. Face it. And then make a decision. Not a wish. Not a promise. A decision. Cut it off. Replace it. Rise above it. Every minute you save from a useless habit is a minute you can reinvest into your vision, health, craft, relationships, and legacy. This isn't just about productivity. It's about identity. It's about the kind of person you're becoming. Be the one who chooses growth over comfort. Be the one who values their time enough to fight for it. Be the one who looks back a year from now and says, that was the moment I stopped wasting time and started building something real. This is your time. Don't waste another second. Don't let another excuse seduce you back into comfort. Get clear. Get serious. Get honest. Eliminate what weakens you. Build what strengthens you. And live the life you were meant for. Now go. Do it. No delay. No distractions. Start now because nothing changes until you do. Chapter 7. Focus on one task fully until it is done. If you don't learn how to finish what you start, your potential will rot inside you, untouched, wasted, forgotten. And maybe that's been your story. You start something, you get excited, you make a little progress, and then it slips. Something distracts you. Something else seems more urgent or more entertaining. You leave it half done, and you convince yourself that you'll come back to it. But deep down, you know the truth. You rarely do. That dream sits there, incomplete, gathering dust in your mind. That's how momentum dies. That's how greatness fades. We live in a world that rewards speed but forgets the value of completion. Everyone's rushing from one thing to the next. Multitasking is glorified. Distraction is constant. People start 10 things and finish none. They touch everything but master nothing. They stay busy but don't move forward. And inside, it creates a quiet kind of suffering. The guilt of knowing you're capable of more, but you're not doing it. You don't need more time. You don't need more talent. You need more focus. Ruthless, undivided, full attention focus. The kind that says, this one thing matters right now, and I'm not moving until it's done. Because when you focus like that, when you commit to one task with everything you've got, you unlock a level of clarity, power, and confidence most people never touch. Finishing something rewires your identity. It tells your brain, I keep my promises. I follow through. I don't just start, I finish. That builds self-respect. That builds trust in yourself. And once you trust yourself, everything changes. You stop negotiating. You stop delaying. You get up, and you get it done. But here's the truth, nobody likes to admit, focusing on one task is uncomfortable. It's hard. It demands presence. It exposes your fears. Because when you give something your full attention, there's nowhere to hide. You can't scroll your way out of resistance. You can't bounce between tabs to escape the pressure. You have to face it. And that's why most people avoid it. They're scared of the stillness. They're afraid of the silence. They're addicted to the noise. But that noise is killing your potential. Every time you switch tasks, your mind resets. Every time you check your phone, your momentum fractures. Every time you jump to something else, you lose the flow you were building. It's death by 1,000 cuts. And the only way out is to fight back with intention. Pick one thing, one task, one goal, and give it everything. No multitasking, no checking, no toggling, just full immersion. Set a timer if you have to. Close every distraction. Put your phone in another room. Train yourself to sit in the discomfort of deep work. That's where growth lives. That's where breakthroughs happen. There's a reason the most successful people in the world guard their focus like a treasure. It's because they know it is. Focus is your superpower in a distracted world. If you can lock in when everyone else is scattered, you win. If you can finish when others flinch, you grow. And if you can consistently complete what you start, you become unstoppable. But you have to choose it. You have to build it. You have to reject the lie that multitasking makes you productive. It doesn't. It fragments your power. It splits your attention. It weakens your performance. Real progress happens when you concentrate all your energy into a single direction until the job is done. This isn't just about being more efficient. This is about becoming a different kind of person. A person who honors their time. A person who finishes strong. A person who shows up fully, not halfway. Because if you can do that with one task, you can do it with your goals, your habits, your relationships, your life. And let me be clear, this takes practice. You won't nail it perfectly on day one. Your mind will wander, distractions will tempt you. The old habits will try to pull you back. But if you keep choosing focus again and again, you rewire yourself. You get sharper, stronger, more disciplined. The noise gets quieter, and the clarity gets louder. You start to notice something: peace. Not the peace that comes from avoiding work, but the peace that comes from completing it. There's a deep satisfaction in finishing, a kind of fulfillment that can't be faked. And when you feel that, you crave more of it. You start chasing completion, not just excitement. You stop quitting early. You stop looking for shortcuts. You commit. There's power in saying, I don't move on until it's done. It builds momentum. It creates results. It earns respect, especially self-respect. People around you notice. They see the change. They feel the intensity. Because you're not distracted anymore. You're present. You're driven. You're here to build something real. Imagine this version of you focused, calm, consistent. You sit down to work and you lock in. You finish your goals one by one. You stop jumping between plans and actually complete them. No more half-written journals. No more abandoned routines. No more I'll get to it later. Just a clear path and the discipline to walk it. You'll be amazed at what happens when you focus like this. Time stretches. Energy expands. You do in 1 hour what used to take you 5, because you're not leaking your attention anymore. You're channeling it, directing it, controlling it. That's the secret most people never tap into. The world wants your attention. Every app, every ad, every feed. They're not just fighting for your clicks. They're fighting for your future. Because the more distracted you are, the more powerless you become. But when you take your attention back, you take your life back. One task at a time. Start today. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait to feel ready. Pick one thing that matters and finish it. Set a clear outcome. Cut the noise. Go all in. Push through the boredom. Resist the urge to check. Stay locked in until it's done. Then stand up knowing you just won a small war. That's how you build strength. That's how you build pride. And when the next task comes, do it again, one by one, day by day. That's how real change happens. Not with big talk, not with scattered action, with relentless follow-through, with deep work, with presence. You've wasted enough time living distracted. You've abandoned enough goals halfway. You've talked about what you'll do. Now it's time to do it. Fully. With discipline. With focus. Because your future doesn't belong to the most talented. It belongs to the most focused. The ones who shut out the noise, shut down the excuses, and lock in until the job is finished. Be that person. Decide right now that you will no longer be the kind of person who leaves things half done. From now on, you start what you intend to finish, and you finish what you start. That kind of mindset builds momentum. It creates mastery, and it earns you freedom. The freedom to trust yourself, to believe in your consistency, to know that when you say you'll do something, it gets done. So the next time your mind wanders, remember this: every unfinished task is a weight on your back, and every completed one is a weight lifted. Finish what you start, and you'll start to feel lighter, stronger, clearer, more powerful than ever before. This is your advantage. This is your power. In a world full of half-finished dreams and constant distraction, you can stand out just by focusing until it's done. And once you make that your standard, there's no limit to how far you can go. So don't just try harder. Focus better. Choose one task, one mission, one goal, and don't stop until you've completed it. Not halfway, not almost. Done. Fully, completely, relentlessly. That's how you build discipline. That's how you build confidence. That's how you build the life you've been chasing. Start now. No distractions, no delay, just deep focus, fierce intention, and relentless execution. Finish what you start, every time, until it becomes who you are. Chapter 8. Track your time to discover where energy leaks. You're not tired because you're working too much. You're tired because you don't know where your time is going. Think about that for a second. You wake up every day with 24 hours in your hands, the same as everyone else. But somehow your energy is scattered, your progress feels slow, and by the end of the day, you're drained without anything meaningful to show for it. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you don't care. It's because your time is bleeding in places you're not even aware of. And until you track it, honestly, ruthlessly, you will never regain control. Let me tell you something no one tells you growing up. Your life is built in minutes. The quality of your minutes determines the quality of your results. Every distraction you entertain, every moment you waste, every task you start without intention is a tiny leak in your energy tank. Over time, those leaks drain your momentum, dilute your focus, and crush your motivation. Not all at once, quietly, slowly, and that's what makes it so dangerous. You don't notice until you've spent weeks, even months, feeling like you're doing everything and getting nowhere. You want to feel more in control. Track your time, not for judgment, not for guilt, for truth, for clarity, because the mind will lie to you. It will tell you, I was productive today, when in reality, you spent half the day reacting to noise, scrolling, checking, drifting. But numbers don't lie. When you see where your hours actually go, you'll realize something shocking. Most of your exhaustion doesn't come from doing too much. It comes from doing too little of what matters and way too much of what doesn't. Most people are walking around with energy leaks they've never identified. They blame their burnout on work, on people, on life. But if they just paused for 1 week and documented every block of time, every hour, every minute, they'd see the truth. The interruptions, the meaningless scrolling, the conversations that add no value, the aimless multitasking, the 5-minute checks that turn into 45-minute spirals. Those are the silent killers of ambition, and they're all avoidable, but only if you have the courage to face them. Tracking your time is like turning on the lights in a dark room. Suddenly, the chaos makes sense. You stop feeling like a victim of the day. You start seeing patterns. You start understanding your triggers. You start noticing when your energy dips, when your focus disappears, and what steals it. That awareness is priceless, because once you see it, you can fix it. Let me make this clear. This isn't about becoming a robot. It's about becoming aware. It's about knowing what adds to your life and what takes from it. You can't eliminate distractions until you recognize them. You can't improve what you don't measure. So start measuring, not to be perfect, but to be precise. Ask yourself, what time of day do I feel most energized? What tasks drain me the fastest? What environments help me focus? Who interrupts me the most? How often do I lose track of time without realizing it? These are questions that tracking answers. And when you know the answers, you can build a schedule that supports your energy instead of depleting it. Think of every task you do in a day as either a deposit or a withdrawal from your energy account. Some things fill you, others drain you, but if you're not paying attention, you'll be overdrawn every single day and wonder why you're always tired, frustrated, stuck. That cycle ends when you start paying attention. For 1 week, track everything, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. Not just your tasks, but your energy levels. What made you feel alive? What made you feel drained? What gave you clarity? What made you restless? Write it all down. No filters, no edits, just truth. And when you look at it, don't judge. Learn. If you spent 2 hours watching mindless content, don't shame yourself. Ask why. Were you avoiding something hard? Were you looking for stimulation because you were bored or empty? Were you simply unaware of how fast time passed? That kind of awareness gives you leverage. And that leverage gives you control. Now take that data and adjust. Eliminate the leaks. Block off your peak energy hours for deep work. Remove low-value tasks from your plate. Set clear boundaries around your time. Start designing your days based on energy, not just time. Because not every hour is equal. You're not a machine. You have rhythms, cycles, peaks and dips. Track them, respect them, build around them. You'll be shocked at how much more alive you feel when your energy is respected. When your schedule matches your natural flow. When you stop forcing productivity in your weakest hours and start using your strongest hours to do your most important work. That's how high performers operate. Not by doing more, but by doing better, with awareness, with precision, with purpose. The world is full of people running in circles, exhausted, overwhelmed, drowning in tasks that don't move the needle. Don't be one of them. Be different. Track, adjust, execute. Protect your time like your life depends on it, because it does. Every minute you spend is a minute you never get back. That's not just motivational talk. That's reality. And here's the secret. The more you track, the more you'll trust yourself, because clarity builds confidence. You'll stop second-guessing. You'll stop winging it. You'll know where your time is going. You'll know how to protect your energy. And that creates momentum that compounds. You'll get more done in less time. You'll feel lighter, sharper, more focused. You'll start hitting your goals consistently, not because you're working harder, but because you're working smarter. Because you're no longer leaking energy in 1,000 directions. You're directing it, channeling it, controlling it. That's power. That's freedom. You don't need more hours, you need more awareness. You need to take back the time that's slipping through your fingers every day. You need to stop bleeding energy into things that don't matter. And the only way to do that is to track it. Brutally, honestly, consistently. It's uncomfortable at first. You won't like what you see, but that discomfort is the beginning of transformation. That's your wake-up call. That's your proof that things need to change. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. You'll start noticing energy leaks everywhere, and you'll fix them, one by one. That's how you go from busy to productive, from tired to energized, from stuck to unstoppable. So don't just live each day hoping it goes well. Study it, track it, understand it. Your future depends on it. And when you're done tracking for a week, do this. Sit down in silence and ask yourself, what am I allowing that's draining me? The answer might hurt, but it will free you, because the moment you identify the problem is the moment you take back the power to solve it. Your time is your life, and your energy is the fuel that brings your vision to reality. Treat both with the respect they deserve. No more guessing, no more floating through your days. Take control. Be intentional. Get obsessed with understanding how you operate best. That's how transformation begins. Track your time. Discover the leaks. Seal them. Then pour everything you've got into what actually matters. This is the difference between living on autopilot and living on fire. Don't waste another day letting your energy disappear into distractions and dead ends. Get honest. Get clear. Get serious. Your breakthrough is hiding in how you spend your hours. Go find it. Now, Chapter 9. Break your goals into clear, simple daily actions. You're not failing because your dreams are too big. You're failing because your daily actions are too vague. Let's get brutally honest. You've got ambition. You've got potential. You've probably spent countless nights visualizing the life you want, imagining the freedom, the impact, the pride, the peace. But every time you try to chase it, life swallows you. The chaos returns. You lose momentum. You get overwhelmed. Why? Because a dream without a clear path will always stay a fantasy. And clarity doesn't happen on accident. It's built with intention, one action at a time. Most people don't hit their goals because their goals never make it out of their head. They stay trapped in a fog of motivation. And someday I'll get in shape. Someday I'll start my business. Someday I'll be consistent. But someday isn't a plan, and motivation isn't a system. What you need is a map, and that map begins with one critical move, breaking your big goal into small, daily, undeniable steps. You don't need more willpower. You don't need better conditions. What you need is a simple structure so you can win daily without overthinking. You want results. Get obsessed with execution, not intention. Everyone has a vision. Very few people build a process to make that vision real, and that's where the game is won. Let me take you back to the moment you set your goal. Remember the fire in your chest, the certainty that this time would be different. That drive is real, but fire without direction burns fast and dies young. To keep that fire alive, you need to feed it with progress, visible, measurable, daily progress. And here's the truth most people never want to admit. Progress isn't made in leaps. It's made in small, boring, unsexy steps, repeated with ruthless consistency. That's the part your ego hates. Your ego wants glory, but greatness is built quietly. Quiet mornings, quiet effort, quiet discipline, and it all begins with defining exactly what to do each day. Let's say your goal is to become financially independent. Sounds powerful, but what does that mean in action? Vague intentions like make more money or start a side hustle will leave you spinning. But if you decide that every morning before work, you'll spend 30 minutes researching online business models, and every Saturday, you'll build and test one piece of your idea, that's clarity. That's action. That's how a dream becomes a routine. If your goal is to transform your health, don't just say get fit. Say every day I drink 3 liters of water, walk 10,000 steps, eat 80% whole foods, and stretch for 15 minutes. Make it undeniable, make it trackable, make it simple enough that it becomes automatic. Because success isn't about doing everything, it's about doing the right things daily. You want to feel powerful? Make a list tonight of the 5 actions that would move your life forward the fastest, and commit to doing them every single day for the next 30 days. Not when you feel like it. Not when it's convenient. Every day. Watch what happens. You'll become addicted to momentum, and that momentum will change you. The reason most people quit isn't because they're weak. It's because they have no system to survive the days when motivation disappears, and those days will come. That's a promise. Life will test you. Emotions will shift, doubts will creep in. But when you've got a simple daily structure, it doesn't matter how you feel, you just execute. And that builds unshakable trust in yourself. So stop making your goals a mystery. Break them down, make them concrete. Define them so clearly that even on your worst day you know exactly what to do. Your goal is the destination, but your daily actions are the vehicle, and if the vehicle isn't moving, the destination doesn't matter. If your goal feels overwhelming right now, good. That's a sign you're dreaming big enough. But don't let that feeling paralyze you. Use it. Sit down with it. Ask yourself, what's the smallest, clearest step I can take today that will move me forward? Then write it down. Then do it. That's it. That's how you shrink the mountain into something you can climb. And if you fall off track, So what? Everyone does. But the winners aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who build a system that makes it easy to get back up. They don't rely on inspiration. They rely on intention. Daily, repeatable, trackable intention. There's a reason world-class athletes, elite entrepreneurs, and top performers swear by routines. Not because they're boring robots, but because they understand that the mind is fragile and emotion is unreliable. Discipline is what saves them. Simplicity is what frees them. Clarity is what drives them. And the good news, you can build that same edge. You don't need a fancy app. You don't need a mentor. You need a notebook, a pen, and 10 minutes a day of radical self-honesty. What do I want? What actions get me closer? What am I avoiding? What will I do today no matter what? Most people never ask themselves those questions. They live in reaction. You want to live in creation. That begins by mastering your days. Win the day. Win the week. Win the week. Win the month. Win the month. Win the year. That's the formula. It's not flashy, but it works. And here's the twist. Once you simplify your daily actions, your confidence will explode. Because nothing builds self-esteem faster than keeping promises to yourself. Every action you complete becomes a vote for the person you're becoming. And soon your identity shifts. You stop saying, I want to be disciplined, and you start saying, I am disciplined. That's the ultimate power. Let's stop pretending complexity equals success. Simplicity is strength. Clarity is confidence. Don't chase 20 strategies. Find the 3 daily actions that matter most and get obsessed with them. Make your day so structured and intentional that there's no room left for confusion or chaos. And don't wait for perfect. Start messy. Start scared. Just start. Because the people who get results aren't the ones who know the most. They're the ones who do the most. And doing begins with knowing what to do today. Break your goals down until they're so clear, they feel impossible to miss. Until your daily actions become habits. Until your habits shape your mindset. Until your mindset fuels your discipline. Until your discipline transforms your life. That's how you win. Not by hoping, not by wishing, by acting. Repeatedly, relentlessly, clearly. So right now, I want you to grab a sheet of paper. Write your biggest goal at the top. Then underneath, write the 3-5 actions that, if done daily, would make that goal inevitable. Make them simple. Make them measurable. Then put that list somewhere you can see it every day. Wake up, look at it, and move. Don't think. Don't hesitate. Execute. This isn't about achieving everything in one day. This is about showing up for yourself with precision. One small action at a time. That's how you rise. That's how you build a legacy. That's how you silence every doubt and prove to yourself that you are always capable. You just needed a plan. Don't let another week go by chasing a blurry dream. Make it visible. Make it real. Break it down. And then build it up. One clear, daily action at a time. This is your moment. Your time. Your move. Make it count. Chapter 10. Block distractions by setting strict digital boundaries early. You're not behind in life. You're just too available to everything that doesn't matter. Every single day you're under attack. And it's not obvious. No alarms. No warnings. Just a quiet war for your focus. 1,000 pings, likes, DMs, and meaningless scrolls are stealing the one thing you can't get back, your attention. And the scariest part is, most people don't even realize it's happening. They're not living, they're reacting, drowning in noise, chasing dopamine, checking everything but their own dreams. Your potential is dying a slow death in the hands of distraction. Not because you don't care, not because you're lazy, but because you've never learned how to say no to the chaos. You've been trained to respond, to swipe, to click, to escape, and if you don't break that pattern, your goals will stay just that, goals, not reality, not impact, not legacy, just thoughts that never had the space to become action. We live in a world that profits from your lack of discipline. The more you scroll, the more they win. The more distracted you are, the more they earn. You are not the customer, you are the product. And if you don't fight for your own focus, no one else will. Let's tell the truth that most people are too afraid to admit. You can't build anything meaningful if you're constantly distracted. You can't write the book, build the business, fix your health, develop deep relationships, or create peace if your mind is scattered into 1,000 tabs. Because greatness requires attention, and attention requires boundaries. It's not about deleting every app. It's about control. It's about intention. It's about drawing a line and saying, my energy is sacred, and I refuse to leak it into things that don't serve me. This is not just about productivity. This is about reclaiming your life. When was the last time you sat with your thoughts, uninterrupted? When was the last time you created without checking your notifications? When was the last time you woke up and started your day on your own terms, not on a screen, not in reaction mode, but grounded, clear, calm? If you want to become someone new, you have to build space for that identity to emerge. And space doesn't come from wishful thinking. It comes from strict digital boundaries, because every time you open your phone, you open a portal to someone else's agenda. And if you're not careful, you'll lose yourself inside it. You don't need more motivation. You need fewer distractions. You don't need another app. You need less noise. You don't need another morning routine. You need to protect your mornings like your life depends on it. Because it does. Start with this: no phone for the first hour of your day. Period. Not negotiable. Wake up, breathe, move, write, plan, think, own your space before the world invades it. That one move will radically shift your mental clarity. Then set time blocks during your day, where your phone is on airplane mode, your browser tabs are closed, and you're locked in on one task. Real work doesn't happen in 2-minute bursts. Deep focus is a muscle, and every distraction weakens it. But every moment of discipline strengthens it. There is power in becoming unreachable for periods of your day. It tells the world, I am focused, I am building, I am not available for nonsense. It creates friction between you and distraction. It slows down the dopamine cycle. And in that slowing down, something magical happens. You return to yourself. Your thoughts become clearer. Your anxiety drops. Your creativity spikes. And you begin to remember what actually matters. Imagine this. What if for just 90 minutes a day, you were completely unreachable? No texts, no scrolling, no reacting. Just you, your mind, your mission. What could you build? Who could you become? You don't need to escape to the mountains to find peace. You just need to stop inviting chaos into your pocket every 5 minutes. If your phone is the first and last thing you see each day, you are programming your brain to live in reaction, to crave noise, to fear stillness. And that's not by accident, it's by design. They want you addicted, but you can break that. Start by creating digital boundaries so strong that they protect you even on your worst days. Set app limits, block social media during work hours, keep your phone out of the bedroom, turn off all non-essential notifications. You don't need a ping every time someone likes a photo. You need your mind back. And if that feels uncomfortable, it's working. Discomfort is the doorway to transformation. Your brain is addicted to stimulation. Withdrawal feels like boredom, but boredom is where ideas live. It's where breakthroughs begin. The best solutions of your life will not come when you're distracted. They will come when you are fully present with yourself. You want to know who you are? Turn off the noise. Get still. Listen. This is about sovereignty, ownership, taking back control of your life one decision at a time. Because once you set strict digital boundaries, everything shifts. Your confidence increases. Your anxiety fades. Your focus sharpens. Your energy returns. You become more available for what matters and unavailable for what doesn't. You start to notice the time you used to waste, the mental fatigue that used to haunt you, the emptiness of scrolling for comfort. And you start to replace those leaks with habits that build you up instead of breaking you down. Read more. Think deeper. Move intentionally. Connect with real people. Build your life offline so the online world doesn't become your only escape. You're not here to be consumed. You're here to create. But you can't create anything worthwhile if your brain is always elsewhere. Set the boundary. Hold the line. Watch how your identity transforms the moment you do. There is a version of you waiting to be discovered, but you won't find it in someone else's highlight reel. You'll find it in the silence, in the focus, in the work, in the stillness. That version of you is not distracted. That version is sharp, intentional, grounded, disciplined, fulfilled. But you have to earn that version through consistent choices. You have to build a life where your attention is a resource you guard, not a currency you give away. Every notification you ignore is a win. Every time you choose depth over distraction, you level up. Every time you silence the noise, you hear your own voice louder. So here's your challenge for the next 7 days. Block off 2 hours daily with strict digital boundaries. No notifications, no social media, no mindless checking. Just focused energy on one task that moves your life forward. Journal what you feel. Notice how your brain reacts. Document the clarity that returns, then expand it. Make it your new normal. You weren't meant to be reactive. You were meant to be deliberate. Your life will be defined by what you allow to distract you and what you're brave enough to block. This is your call to reclaim your time, your mind, and your mission. Stop being a slave to the screen. Become the architect of your focus. Start today. Set the boundaries. Keep them sacred. Build your future with discipline, not dopamine. And when you feel tempted to break those boundaries, remind yourself, every time I protect my focus, I protect my future. This is your time to take control. Guard your energy like your destiny depends on it, because it does. Chapter 11. Reflect each night to learn and grow daily. If you never stop to look back, how will you ever move forward? Every day is a story unfolding, a lesson waiting to be learned, a moment that holds the power to change everything. But too often, we rush through life, hitting go on the next thing before we even pause to breathe, reflect, or understand what just happened. We act, we react, but we rarely stop to ask, what did I learn today? How did today change me? What can I do better tomorrow? That's why reflection is not a luxury. It's a necessity. It's the hidden fuel behind every success story you admire. It's the reason some people grow exponentially while others stay stuck in the same loop, repeating the same mistakes, missing the same opportunities. Reflection is the quiet hero of growth. It's the moment when you close the noise of the world and turn inward. When you shine a light on your thoughts, your emotions, your actions. When you get brutally honest about what worked, what didn't, And why? Because growth doesn't come from blind repetition. It comes from conscious improvement, from learning how to evolve faster than life throws challenges at you. Think about this. Every great mind, every powerful leader, every unstoppable force has had a daily ritual of reflection. They ask themselves the tough questions others avoid. They review their day, their choices, their emotions, and use that clarity to fuel tomorrow's better decisions. Reflection transforms ordinary days into stepping stones for extraordinary progress. But here's the truth that no one talks about enough. Reflection doesn't happen by accident. It takes intention. It takes discipline. It takes creating a space, quiet, uninterrupted, where you can look at yourself without judgment, but with fierce curiosity, without excuses but with accountability, without distraction but with laser focus. When you commit to reflecting each night, you give yourself a powerful gift, a chance to press reset, to release the weight of the day, and to prepare your mind to conquer tomorrow. You create a habit that turns chaos into clarity, frustration into learning, setbacks into strategies. Imagine ending each day, not with regret or exhaustion, but with insight and peace, knowing exactly what you did well, what tripped you up, and how you'll adjust. Feeling connected to your growth, instead of disconnected from your progress. That's the transformation waiting for you when you make reflection a daily ritual. But reflection isn't just about thinking, it's about feeling and acting. It's about embracing vulnerability, admitting where you fell short without beating yourself up. About celebrating wins, no matter how small, to build momentum. About setting clear intentions that guide you through tomorrow's challenges with purpose and confidence. Your mind is a garden. Reflection is the tending that pulls out the weeds of doubt, plants seeds of wisdom, and waters the roots of resilience. Without it, growth is stunted. With it, you become unstoppable. The power of reflection lies in its simplicity. You don't need a fancy journal or a special retreat. You need 5 minutes of honesty with yourself before bed. 5 minutes to ask, what did I learn? What could I improve? What am I grateful for? How will I be better tomorrow? These questions crack open the door to self-awareness. They shine light on blind spots. They bring forgotten lessons into focus, and over time they rewire your brain to seek growth, not comfort, to choose courage, not complacency. The hardest part is starting. At first, reflection might feel awkward or uncomfortable. You might not know what to say or where to begin. You might resist facing mistakes or reliving tough moments. But that resistance is a sign you're on the right path. Growth always feels uncomfortable before it feels natural. The magic happens when you lean into that discomfort and keep showing up. When reflection becomes not a chore but a habit you crave, when it becomes the lens through which you see every experience as an opportunity, every challenge as a lesson, every day as progress. Reflection is also your secret weapon against the trap of busyness. In a world obsessed with doing more, it reminds you that growth isn't about doing everything, it's about learning from what you do. It's about quality over quantity, about depth over distraction. This nightly ritual sharpens your focus and sharpens your mind. It builds emotional resilience and mental clarity. It makes your progress visible and your goals tangible. It turns vague ambitions into clear, actionable insights. Think about the people you admire, those who seem to always get better, who handle setbacks with grace, who rise stronger after every fall. They all have one thing in common: they reflect. They don't just live their days, they learn from them. They don't just chase success, they build it brick by brick with deliberate reflection. Now ask yourself, Are you learning as fast as you want? Are you evolving as quickly as life demands? Or are you stuck in the same patterns, the same struggles, because you never hit pause to see what's really going on inside? Reflection invites you to be the author of your own story, instead of a character reacting to the script. It gives you control over your growth. It makes you accountable to your highest self. You owe it to yourself to create this habit, to build this daily checkpoint where you turn inward and grow stronger. Because without reflection, your potential stays locked inside you, unrealized, untapped, waiting. Start tonight. Find a quiet moment, take a deep breath, write down or say out loud what you learned today. Where did you win? Where did you lose? What will you do differently tomorrow? Make this your ritual, no matter how busy or tired you feel. Over time, you'll see your mindset shift. Your decisions will become wiser. Your actions will become more aligned. Your confidence will rise, because you know you're learning and improving every single day. Reflection is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It's the habit that turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. It's the reason some lives explode with progress, while others remain stuck in the mud. If you want to become someone who wins consistently, who handles life's storms with calm, who grows faster than the world around you, start with this simple step. Reflect each night. There's no faster way to turn experience into wisdom, failure into fuel, and today's struggles into tomorrow's breakthroughs. Commit to this practice, protect it fiercely, make it non-negotiable, and watch how your life changes from the inside out. Your future self is already waiting, stronger, wiser, more resilient. But that future won't arrive without this one essential habit, the daily pause to reflect, learn, and grow. Start tonight. Reflect deeply, grow relentlessly. Your life depends on it. Chapter 12. Invest time daily in learning something truly valuable. If you don't invest in your mind every single day, you're quietly letting your future slip away. We live in a world where distraction is constant, where entertainment is endless, and where information overload drowns out what truly matters. It's easy to drift through the days, consuming mindlessly, letting precious hours vanish without adding any real value to who you are or where you want to go. But what if I told you that the key to unlocking your greatest potential lies in one simple but powerful habit: dedicating time every day to learn something truly valuable. This isn't about random facts or fleeting trends. It's about feeding your mind with knowledge and skills that change the trajectory of your life. Imagine waking up every morning knowing that you're getting stronger, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. That you're adding to your arsenal of wisdom, tools, and insights that will serve you for decades. That with every day, you become more capable, more confident, more prepared to face whatever challenges come your way. This is the power of daily learning. It's the secret behind every successful person you admire, the reason they rise above the noise, make smarter decisions, and seize opportunities others miss. Think about the most important moments in your life. The breakthroughs, the aha realizations, the times you grew faster than ever before. What do they all have in common? They came after you gained new knowledge or mastered a skill that changed your understanding of what's possible. Learning isn't just about gathering information, it's about transformation. It's about reshaping how you see the world and yourself. It's about unlocking new doors that lead to growth, opportunity, and fulfillment. But here's the hard truth many don't realize: knowledge alone won't change your life. It's what you choose to learn, how you apply it, and the consistency with which you do it that makes all the difference. When you invest daily in learning something truly valuable, you build a foundation that no one can take away. This foundation supports every goal you chase, every dream you dare to pursue, and every challenge you encounter. What counts as truly valuable? Learning. It's different for everyone. For some, it's mastering a skill that boosts their career. For others, it's understanding how to manage emotions, communicate better, or build stronger relationships. For some, it's gaining financial wisdom that changes how they handle money. For others, it's deepening their understanding of themselves and their purpose. The key is to be intentional. Don't just consume content blindly or follow what's popular. Choose learning that moves you closer to the person you want to become and the life you want to create. This might mean reading a chapter from a book that challenges your thinking, listening to a podcast that opens your mind to new ideas, taking a course that teaches you skills you'll use daily, or even spending time reflecting on lessons learned and how to apply them. You don't need hours every day. Even 15 to 30 minutes, when focused and purposeful, can compound into massive growth over weeks, months, and years. The difference between someone who grows and someone who stays stuck is often just a few minutes of quality learning each day. Imagine the possibilities if you commit to this. After a month, you'll notice your conversations deepen, your decisions sharpen, your confidence grows. After a year, you'll look back and be stunned at how far you've come, how much more capable, informed, and ready you are to take on life's biggest challenges. But to get there, you must fight the biggest enemy of learning: distraction. It's easy to tell yourself you're too tired or too busy, or that you'll start tomorrow. But every time you delay, you're choosing stagnation over progress. The pain of missed opportunities and wasted potential can be crushing. Yet the reward of daily learning is liberating. It frees you from the limits of your current knowledge and opens your mind to endless possibilities. Let me share a story. A man I once knew struggled for years, trapped in the same job, the same frustrations. One day, he decided to dedicate just 20 minutes each evening to learning something that would help him grow. It started with simple reading about leadership and communication. Over time, those small moments built confidence, skills, and eventually a new career path. He became unstoppable because he invested consistently in himself. You have that same power. It's within your reach right now. Don't underestimate the impact of daily learning on your mindset. It rewires your brain, builds mental resilience, and sharpens your focus. It shifts your identity from someone stuck to someone growing. Every new piece of knowledge you absorb is a seed planted for future success. But these seeds only grow if you nurture them daily. So here's your challenge. What will you learn today that will bring you closer to your best self? What valuable insight or skill will you commit to mastering? Make a promise to yourself to protect this time fiercely. Treat it like an appointment with your future. No excuses, no distractions, no compromises. As days turn to weeks and weeks to months, you'll feel a shift. Your mind will be sharper, your energy higher, your dreams clearer. Daily learning is not a chore. It's the most exciting adventure you can embark on. It's the story of endless potential waiting to be written by your actions. Don't wait for the perfect moment or more free time. Start now. Pick one thing that truly matters. Invest in it daily. Watch how your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. Your mind is your most valuable asset. Feed it wisely. Invest in it relentlessly. Your future success depends on what you choose to learn today. Make this commitment, own it, and prepare to be amazed at the power of daily growth. Chapter 13. Build strong routines that align with your purpose. Your life will never change until your daily habits do, and those habits must be born from a purpose so clear it sets your soul on fire. Routines aren't just about ticking boxes or filling your day with busy work. They are the architecture of your future, the invisible forces shaping every outcome you want in life. When your routines align with your deepest purpose, they stop being chores and become the rhythm of your most powerful self. Picture this. You wake up every morning energized, knowing exactly what you're going to do and why it matters. There's no hesitation, no wasted time, just a clear flow of actions that push you steadily toward your goals. That kind of alignment creates unstoppable momentum, momentum that carries you through distractions, doubts, and setbacks. Many people drift through life, trying to build routines that feel disconnected or forced. They follow generic advice without rooting their habits in what truly drives them. This leads to frustration, inconsistency, and a constant feeling of being stuck. But the truth is, routines crafted from purpose are different. They give you focus and meaning. They turn small actions into giant leaps forward. Think about the power of a morning ritual that isn't just about getting out of bed, but about stepping into your mission. Maybe it's journaling your goals, moving your body to ignite energy, or reviewing your priorities so every choice aligns with your vision. These aren't just habits, they are declarations of who you are becoming. Every strong routine serves as a foundation that supports your purpose. It acts like a compass, guiding you back on track whenever life throws distractions your way. When you build your days around your core values and ambitions, you naturally eliminate what doesn't belong. This alignment transforms how you feel about your daily grind. Tasks that once felt draining become meaningful steps in a larger journey. You start to savor the process instead of just chasing the outcome. The challenge many face is knowing what routines to build and how to sustain them. The key is starting small and being intentional. Don't overwhelm yourself trying to change everything at once. Instead, identify the few critical habits that will have the biggest impact on your purpose. Consistency beats intensity every time. A simple routine practiced daily will always outrun bursts of effort followed by burnout. The goal is to create systems that fit your lifestyle and feed your motivation, not drain it. Let me share a story about a woman who transformed her life through purposeful routines. She had big dreams but was trapped in chaos, juggling too many things without direction. One day, she decided to design her mornings intentionally. She chose 3 habits that connected to her goals: meditation to clear her mind, writing to focus her vision, and movement to energize her body. She committed to these small rituals for just 5 minutes each. Over weeks, those minutes grew into an unbreakable routine that fueled her entire day. Her mindset shifted, her productivity soared, and her confidence exploded. Because her routine reflected her purpose, she never saw it as a burden. It became her anchor. Your routines can do the same for you. They can be the fuel that lights your path, even in your darkest moments. Don't wait for motivation to appear. Build a routine that carries you forward even when motivation fades. Discipline born from purpose is the most reliable power you will ever have. Routines also create freedom. When your habits serve your purpose, they free your mind from decision fatigue and doubt. You don't waste energy wondering what to do next. You already know because your daily actions are mapped out by your vision. The secret to building these routines lies in clarity. Get crystal clear on your purpose, your why. Write it down, feel it deeply. Then ask yourself what daily habits will get you closer to that vision. Your purpose is your anchor. Your routines are the sails catching the wind. Without one or the other, you drift. Another powerful insight is to guard your routines fiercely. Life will test your commitment. Distractions, setbacks, and temptations will try to pull you off course. But strong routines, built on deep purpose, create a protective boundary around your growth. Each time you follow your routine despite resistance, you strengthen your identity as someone who takes charge of their life. This builds resilience, confidence, and momentum. The compound effect is remarkable. Small, purposeful habits multiplied over time create massive transformations. What looks like a tiny change today becomes the foundation of a life you once only dreamed of. Visualize how it feels to live each day fully aligned with your purpose. To wake up excited because your habits reflect your values. To go to bed fulfilled because you moved closer to your dreams. This is the power of routines designed for your purpose. They turn vision into reality by making the invisible visible, your future created daily through deliberate action. So here's the challenge. Don't settle for routines that feel meaningless or draining. Reclaim your time and energy by building habits that serve your greatest ambitions. Start small, stay consistent, and protect your routine like it's the most valuable asset you have, because it is. Make your purpose your North Star. Let it guide every decision, every action, every habit. When your routines reflect that, you will unlock levels of growth, joy, and success that once seemed impossible. Your destiny is forged in the quiet moments of daily discipline. Build routines that reflect your purpose, and watch how your life transforms beyond what you ever thought possible. The time to act is now. Begin today by committing to one habit that aligns with your purpose. Protect it fiercely. Grow it patiently. Your future self is waiting, shaped by the routines you build today. Don't let another day pass without living in alignment with the power inside you. Make this promise: your routines will serve your purpose. Your purpose will light your way. And together they will create the unstoppable force that moves you from where you are to where you deserve to be. Chapter 14. Create mental space by scheduling quiet thinking time. Your mind is your greatest asset. Yet it's often the most cluttered, overwhelmed, and exhausted part of your life. What if the key to unlocking your full potential wasn't working harder, but creating space to think clearly, deeply, and without distraction? In a world that never stops shouting for your attention, carving out moments of quiet thinking time isn't a luxury, it's an absolute necessity. Imagine what happens when you give yourself permission to pause, to breathe, and to be alone with your thoughts. The noise fades. Your mind sharpens. Clarity floods in. We live surrounded by constant stimulation, notifications, meetings, social media, endless tasks, all pulling you in 1,000 directions. This bombardment fractures your focus, drains your energy, and leaves your mind scattered. The pressure to keep up pushes you to keep doing, keep moving, but rarely to just be. The truth is, the most powerful breakthroughs, the clearest decisions, and the deepest creativity arise not from non-stop action, but from deliberate silence. Creating mental space lets your subconscious catch up, connect dots you never saw, and refuel your inner wisdom. This is where innovation is born and resilience is strengthened. It's easy to convince yourself that you're too busy for quiet thinking, that you don't have the time to stop and reflect. But what if this belief is the very thing holding you back? What if the missing ingredient in your growth is not more tasks, but fewer distractions, less noise, and more intentional solitude? There is profound freedom in scheduling quiet time. When you block this in your day as non-negotiable, something extraordinary happens. You reclaim control over your mind rather than letting it be hijacked by endless demands. You create a sanctuary where your thoughts can breathe and expand. I want you to picture a moment from your past when you had a sudden insight, a flash of clarity that changed everything. Maybe it came in the shower, on a walk, or just before sleep. That moment wasn't accidental. It was your mind finding space to process, to connect, to create. When you consciously schedule quiet time, you invite these moments to happen regularly, not sporadically. This practice isn't about zoning out or mindlessly scrolling. It's an active choice to give your mind the room it desperately needs. The benefits go far beyond productivity. Quiet thinking cultivates emotional balance, reduces stress, and deepens self-awareness. It allows you to identify what truly matters, cut through the clutter of noise, and focus on what moves you forward. Many successful people, from inventors to leaders, credit their breakthroughs to periods of intentional solitude. Einstein famously said, "I live in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in the years of maturity." He understood that to solve the world's hardest problems, the mind needs to wander free of distraction. You can start this practice by simply setting aside 5 minutes a day. Find a quiet place, turn off your phone, and let your thoughts flow without judgment or agenda. Don't rush to fill the silence. Allow yourself to feel the discomfort of stillness and embrace it. Over time, this grows into a powerful habit that transforms your relationship with your own mind. One of the greatest challenges is overcoming the fear of boredom or emptiness during quiet time. We are conditioned to fear silence because it exposes us to ourselves. But this fear is a sign of how disconnected we've become from our inner world. Embracing quiet thinking is a step toward reclaiming that connection. As you deepen this habit, you'll notice a shift in how you handle challenges. Problems no longer overwhelm you. Instead, you approach them with calm, clarity, and creative solutions. Your stress melts because you're no longer reacting out of chaos but responding from a centered place. Quiet thinking also sharpens your intuition. In the busy noise of life, your inner voice often gets drowned out. Scheduling mental space lets you hear it again. This guidance can steer your decisions, align your actions with your deepest values, and keep you on the path that truly serves you. Imagine how it would feel to move through your day with a mind that's uncluttered, focused, and calm. To know that you have built into your routine the time and space for your most important thoughts. This isn't wishful thinking, it's an achievable reality with profound impact. To make this real, treat your quiet thinking time as sacred. Protect it fiercely from interruptions and distractions. Just like you would guard a vital meeting or a workout session, guard this time for your mind's health. Over time, you may extend these moments. Maybe you find yourself walking in nature, meditating, or simply sitting with your eyes closed, letting your mind wander. Each moment deepens your clarity and strengthens your mental resilience. Your ability to create mental space will be one of the greatest gifts you give yourself in a world that demands constant input and output. It's the space where growth happens, where ideas form, and where you reconnect with your purpose. So today, take a stand for your mind. Schedule your quiet thinking time with the seriousness it deserves. Let it become the cornerstone of your daily routine, and watch how your life shifts toward greater clarity, creativity, and peace. This simple yet radical act will transform the way you live, work, and dream. It will empower you to lead with a mind that's clear, calm, and unstoppable. The journey to mastery begins by clearing the clutter. Give yourself the gift of quiet, and everything else will follow. Your future self will thank you for it. Start now. Block out that time. Turn off the noise Step into your power by reclaiming the sacred space within your mind. You owe it to yourself to think deeply, to dream wildly, and to live fully. Create mental space today and unlock the limitless potential waiting inside you. Chapter 15. Give your energy only to what builds your future. Your energy is the most precious currency you have, and where you spend it today decides the life you live tomorrow. Imagine waking up every morning feeling drained because you poured your power into things that don't matter, or worse, things that pull you backward. That exhaustion, that frustration, it's a silent thief stealing your future. What if you flipped the script? What if every drop of energy you gave was an investment in building the life you've always wanted? This is not about working harder or pushing yourself until you break. It's about shifting your focus so sharply that your energy flows only toward what elevates you, what moves you forward, what creates your future. It's a ruthless, deliberate act of protecting your vitality from distractions, negativity, and anything that doesn't serve your vision. Think about a time when you gave your energy to something meaningless, an argument, mindless scrolling, a toxic relationship, or a task that didn't align with your goals. How did you feel afterward? Maybe bitter, tired, or stuck in a loop of wasted hours. Now contrast that with a moment when your energy fueled progress, learning a new skill, building a habit, connecting with someone who inspires you. That energy feels alive, purposeful, and powerful. You have to become fiercely selective. Energy given away to shallow battles or empty comforts is energy stolen from your potential. Each decision about where to invest your effort shapes your reality. Choosing wisely means saying no to what's comfortable but irrelevant. It means breaking free from habits that exhaust you but don't build you. The truth is, every distraction pulls you away from your destiny. Social media's endless scroll isn't just a time thief, it's an energy vampire. Gossip, complaining, and bitterness drain your spirit. Worrying about things beyond your control depletes your mental strength. Your job is to stop feeding these drains and start channeling your power toward creation, growth, and contribution. To give your energy only to what builds your future requires a ruthless mental audit. Look closely at your daily actions. Which ones add value? Which ones consume your time without reward? The path to success is paved by small choices repeated consistently, not by grand gestures followed by burnout. Every moment you guard your energy, you build momentum that compounds beyond what you can imagine. Visualize your energy as sunlight focused through a lens. When spread thin, it warms but does not burn. When focused tightly, it ignites and transforms. That is the power of concentrated energy. Laser focus on what truly matters ignites extraordinary change. You must develop a personal filter, a clear, unbreakable boundary that deflects anything not aligned with your growth. This filter guards your mind, emotions, and body from energy drains. It protects your focus like a fortress, so nothing infiltrates and saps your power. This doesn't mean shutting out the world or becoming cold. It means mastering yourself enough to choose where your energy flows. It means recognizing that every yes to something unimportant is a no to your future self. It means honoring your dreams by dedicating your vitality only to actions that elevate them. Remember, your energy is limited. It is a finite resource each day. No one can replenish it for you. If you scatter it on distractions, regrets, or negative influences, you end the day depleted with little to show. But if you channel it with discipline, you end each day stronger, closer, and more capable than before. There's a fierce joy that comes from living this way. When you protect your energy, you tap into a deep well of resilience and creativity. Challenges no longer exhaust you. They ignite your drive. Your focus sharpens. Your sense of purpose deepens. You're not just surviving the day. You're designing your destiny. The hardest part is starting. It requires brutal honesty about where your energy is bleeding. Maybe you need to cut ties with certain people, habits, or mindsets. Maybe you must say no to invitations, distractions, or commitments that don't serve your vision. This is not easy, but it is essential. Take a moment to think about what's truly important. What are the goals, dreams, or values that make you come alive? These are the places where your energy deserves to go. Every effort spent here is a seed planted for future harvest. When you decide to invest your energy only in what builds your future, you change your relationship with time, stress, and even happiness. Time stretches because you're not wasting it. Stress diminishes because your efforts align with meaningful progress. Happiness grows because you're living in integrity with your highest self. Imagine the feeling of waking up knowing your energy is protected and purposefully directed. That clarity dissolves doubt and hesitation. It gives you the courage to push through setbacks because you're fueled by something bigger than momentary distractions. This is the mindset that winners embody. They don't allow trivial matters to steal their fire. They don't let negativity drain their drive. They don't spend their energy reacting to every stimulus. Instead, they preserve their power like a sacred flame, using it to build, create, and inspire. Your energy is a force of nature. When you channel it properly, it transforms your world. It shapes your relationships, your work, and your personal growth. The secret to lasting success is not more energy, it's smarter energy. Start by identifying what truly builds your future. Write it down, speak it out loud, make it real. Then commit to protecting your energy with the discipline of a warrior. Set boundaries with yourself and others. Cut out the noise. Focus relentlessly. As you do this, you will see your productivity soar, your mindset sharpen, and your confidence grow. You'll discover a new level of fulfillment because you're living intentionally, not reactively. The path ahead will demand sacrifices, but these sacrifices pay off in freedom, achievement, and peace. You won't regret choosing your future over fleeting distractions. You'll thank yourself for guarding your energy like the most valuable treasure it is. So today, make this promise. You will give your energy only to what builds your future. No more distractions, no more draining interactions, no more chasing every impulse. You will stand firm, focus deeply, and move forward with unwavering purpose. This commitment will transform your life more than any quick fix or motivation ever could, because it comes from within, from a choice to honor your power and use it wisely. Now take that first step. Decide right now what deserves your energy today. Say no to everything else. Watch how your life begins to change when you start investing your most precious resource where it truly counts. Your future is waiting. It's shaped by every decision you make today. Protect your energy. Focus on what builds you and live a life you're proud of. Chapter 16. Rest intentionally so your energy stays high always. If you keep running on empty, pushing past every warning sign, eventually your fire will burn out, and that's not just a possibility, it's a certainty. The relentless grind without intentional rest is a fast track to burnout, frustration, and lost dreams. But what if I told you that the secret weapon to unstoppable energy and unshakable momentum isn't working harder, it's resting smarter? Rest is not the enemy of progress, it's the engine that fuels greatness, resilience, and breakthrough success. Many people think rest means laziness or weakness. They treat it like a reward to earn after endless work. This is a trap that steals your vitality and blocks your potential. Rest is not a luxury or an afterthought. It's a strategic, intentional act of self-care that supercharges your energy, sharpens your focus, and revitalizes your mind and body so you can perform at your highest level every single day. Picture your body and mind like a high-performance machine. Without proper maintenance, this machine breaks down quickly. If you ignore the need for rest, your productivity collapses, your mood dips, and your creativity vanishes. You become a shadow of yourself, moving through the motions but never reaching your true potential. Intentional rest keeps your engine running smoothly, enabling you to show up with power, clarity, and passion no matter what life throws your way. The problem is many people rest unconsciously or not at all. They crash on the couch with their phone after a long day, but remain mentally hooked to distractions and stress. This kind of rest is shallow and ineffective. It doesn't restore your energy, it drains it further. True rest requires deliberate separation from work, screens, worries, and noise. It's about giving your whole being permission to reset deeply. The first step to resting intentionally is to recognize rest as an active process, not a passive break. It's about making choices that promote real recovery and renewal. This means prioritizing quality sleep, creating boundaries that protect downtime, and engaging in activities that nourish your soul. Rest should leave you feeling refreshed, recharged, and ready to conquer the next challenge, not foggy, distracted, or guilty. Think about a time you woke up after a good night's sleep and felt invincible. Your mind was sharp, your mood was light, and your energy was high. You didn't dread the day. You looked forward to it. That's the power of intentional rest. It primes you for success by restoring balance in your nervous system and clearing mental clutter. Rest also comes in many forms beyond sleep. Moments of mindfulness, deep breathing, gentle movement, or quiet reflection are essential pockets of rest that restore your mental and emotional energy throughout the day. These mini resets interrupt stress cycles and prevent overwhelm. When you practice these intentionally, you build resilience that keeps your energy steady even in the toughest times. Another crucial aspect is learning to say no to the false idols of busyness and productivity. Society glorifies constant activity and equates rest with laziness. Breaking free from this mindset is key. Resting intentionally means giving yourself permission to slow down without guilt. It's a radical act of self-respect that honors your limits and fuels long-term growth. There's an incredible freedom in understanding that rest is part of the process, not a detour from it. When you embrace this truth, you stop pushing against your nature and start working with it. You stop fighting exhaustion and start listening to what your body and mind need to thrive. This shift transforms rest from a chore into a powerful tool. You can design your rest like you design your work, purposefully and strategically. Schedule breaks, power naps, unplugged evenings, or weekend retreats. Use these moments to disconnect from distractions and reconnect with yourself. Let go of the pressure to constantly do and allow yourself to simply be. In this space, creativity, insight, and healing happen naturally. Intentional rest also teaches you patience and self-compassion. You realize that growth isn't a sprint but a marathon. Pushing non-stop leads to burnout, but pacing yourself with rest leads to sustainable progress. This mindset keeps you consistent and resilient through setbacks. It reminds you that every pause is a setup for a stronger comeback. Rest has profound psychological benefits too. It reduces anxiety, calms racing thoughts, and improves emotional regulation. When you rest deeply, your brain processes stress and trauma better. You gain clarity, perspective, and emotional stability. These gifts are essential for making wise decisions, solving problems, and connecting authentically with others. To cultivate intentional rest, start by becoming aware of your current patterns. Are you truly resting, or just distracting yourself? What habits steal your energy instead of restoring it? Then create rituals that support genuine relaxation, like turning off screens an hour before bed, practicing meditation, or spending time in nature. These small actions accumulate into powerful shifts in your energy and well-being. Remember, rest is not selfish. It's necessary. You cannot pour from an empty cup. When you rest intentionally, you become a better partner, friend, leader, and creator. Your energy becomes a resource you control, not one controlled by chaos or exhaustion. The choice is yours. Keep fighting fatigue with willpower alone, or embrace rest as the foundation of your strength. Choose to honor your body's signals and respect your limits. Choose to build a lifestyle where rest and action coexist in harmony, fueling unstoppable momentum. Today, commit to resting intentionally. Treat your energy like the treasure it is. Schedule downtime with the same importance as meetings or workouts. Protect your rest fiercely. Watch how this simple yet profound change transforms your productivity, creativity, and joy. When you rest with intention, you unlock the full power of your potential. You become unstoppable, not because you never stop working, but because you never stop recovering. You show up fully alive, energized, and ready to win. Now is the time to stop undervaluing rest and start mastering it. Your future self will thank you for the energy you preserved today. Make rest a priority and watch how your life shifts from exhaustion to excellence. Take that step right now. Decide to rest intentionally and watch your energy soar higher than ever before. The power to live fully charged is in your hands. Use it wisely. Chapter 17. Strengthen discipline by doing hard things every day. If you want to become the strongest version of yourself, you must realize this. Discipline isn't a trait you're born with. It's a muscle you build by choosing to do the hard things every single day. There's no shortcut, no magic pill, and no inspirational quote that will replace the raw, gritty act of pushing through discomfort when every fiber of your being screams to quit. The path to strength, resilience, and success is paved by those who embrace challenges as their daily ritual. Imagine waking up tomorrow and deciding that the resistance you feel isn't a sign to stop, but a signal to grow. When you start doing hard things every day, you become unstoppable. This isn't about doing impossible feats or climbing mountains every morning. It's about the small, difficult choices that stack up over time and create an unbreakable foundation inside you. Discipline is forged in moments when your mind fights the temptation to stay comfortable. It's the choice to finish the workout even when your legs burn. It's the decision to focus on your goals despite distractions screaming for your attention. Every time you do what's hard, you're rewiring your brain to crave growth instead of ease. This rewiring changes how you respond to life's obstacles, making you tougher, sharper, and more relentless. Most people avoid hard things because they're afraid of discomfort. But here's the secret: discomfort is the doorway to transformation. Growth never happens in comfort zones. If you want to rewrite your story, you have to step into discomfort regularly. The discomfort you feel is a sign that you're stretching, evolving, and breaking old limits. When you make hard things a daily habit, you train your mind to stop making excuses. You learn that excuses are nothing but stories you tell yourself to avoid pain. Those stories might have kept you safe, but they've also kept you small. The more you challenge yourself, the more those stories lose power and your true potential shines through. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about persistence. There will be days when the hard feels impossible, when your motivation crashes and every part of you wants to quit. Those are the moments that define you. When you push through, you're telling yourself that you are stronger than your feelings, that you are the master of your choices, not your impulses. One of the most powerful ways to strengthen discipline is to create a routine around hard tasks. This routine becomes a habit that your mind and body anticipate. It removes decision fatigue, because when discipline is a habit, it doesn't rely on willpower alone. It becomes automatic. Over time, the hard things become easier, not because they changed, but because you changed. Let me tell you a story about a man who transformed his life by doing hard things daily. He was once stuck in a cycle of comfort, avoiding any challenge that made him uncomfortable. One day, he committed to doing just one hard thing every morning, whether it was a cold shower, an extra set of push-ups, or waking up early to work on his dream. At first it felt unbearable. His mind begged him to quit, but he kept showing up. Months later, his mindset shifted so profoundly that challenges felt like fuel, not obstacles. His discipline gave him clarity, confidence, and a momentum that changed his entire life trajectory. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you stress it with discipline exercises, the stronger it gets. It's not just physical strength that improves, it's mental toughness, emotional control, and the ability to delay gratification. These qualities impact every area of your life, from relationships to career to personal growth. There's a natural psychological effect that happens when you do hard things consistently. It's called self-efficacy. The deep knowing that you can handle whatever life throws at you because you have survived your own toughest battles. This feeling makes fear and doubt shrink in comparison. It makes you courageous and bold because you know your inner power is real. One trap many fall into is chasing motivation instead of building discipline. Motivation is fleeting and unreliable. It depends on feelings and circumstances that can change at any moment. Discipline, however, is a commitment to action regardless of how you feel. It's a promise to yourself that you will do what's necessary to reach your goals even on the hardest days. To strengthen discipline, start with small, consistent actions that stretch you. Don't wait for motivation to appear. Use discipline to create motivation. When you do hard things, you're creating evidence for yourself that you are capable. This evidence builds confidence and makes future challenges feel less intimidating. It's also crucial to celebrate your victories, no matter how small. Every time you complete a hard task, acknowledge it. This recognition trains your brain to associate discipline with positive feelings. Over time, discipline shifts from being a chore to a source of pride and fulfillment. Discipline also requires embracing discomfort without judgment. You will face resistance, pain, and setbacks. Instead of fearing these feelings, welcome them as signs that you are growing. When you stop avoiding discomfort, you gain control over your emotional responses. You learn that discomfort is temporary, but the rewards of persistence are lasting. A key to long-term discipline is purpose. When you connect your hard work to a clear why, a deep reason that fuels your commitment, discipline becomes easier to sustain. Your why anchors you when distractions and temptations arise. It transforms hard tasks into meaningful steps toward the life you want. It's important to remember that discipline is not about deprivation or punishment. It's about self-respect and love. Doing hard things daily is an act of honoring your potential and refusing to settle for less. It's a way to claim your power and step fully into your destiny. If you want to change your life, start now by identifying one hard thing you will commit to doing every day. It could be waking up earlier, saying no to distractions, exercising, learning a new skill, or facing a fear. Whatever it is, promise yourself to show up without fail. Watch how this single decision ripples through your life, creating unstoppable momentum. This journey won't be easy. You will struggle, doubt, and face moments of weakness. But each time you push through, you are strengthening the foundation of your discipline muscle. The stronger it gets, the more freedom you will experience. Freedom from procrastination, fear, and self-doubt. Remember, discipline is your greatest ally in building the future you desire. It turns dreams into realities and potential into achievement. The harder you work on your discipline, the easier success becomes. So, ask yourself right now, what hard thing will you do today that your future self will thank you for? Make that choice. Do it fiercely. Repeat tomorrow and every day after that. This is how empires are built. One hard choice at a time. You have the power to change your story through the discipline you cultivate now. Step into discomfort with courage. Show up with determination. Keep doing the hard things and watch how your life transforms in ways you never imagined. This is your moment to commit to daily strength, to own your challenges and turn them into triumphs. The path to greatness starts with a single hard step. Take it now and never stop moving forward. Chapter 18. Respect your time like it is your greatest asset. Time is the one resource you can never get back. Once a moment is gone, it's lost forever. And respecting your time is the single most powerful act of self-love you can ever commit to. Think about that for a second. Every second you waste is a second stolen from your dreams, your growth, your future. If you don't value your time, no one else will either. It's not just about managing hours, it's about guarding the very foundation of your life, because time is your greatest asset, more precious than money, more finite than any possession. How you treat your time determines everything. When you truly respect your time, your entire world shifts. You start seeing moments not as endless stretches, but as priceless opportunities. Each minute becomes a chance to build, to learn, to move closer to the life you want. But the harsh truth is most people live like time is infinite. They let it slip through their fingers like sand, distracted, unfocused, and disconnected from what really matters. Don't let that be you. Imagine waking up every day knowing your time is sacred, that every action you take honors that sacredness. This mindset transforms how you choose what to do and who to be with. You stop settling for meaningless tasks or shallow conversations. You learn to say no to anything that drains your energy or steals your attention without purpose. When you respect your time, you create boundaries that protect your potential. I want you to picture the regret that fills the hearts of people who realize too late that they wasted their time on trivial things. Regret isn't just about missed chances, it's about the emotional weight of knowing you could have been more, done more, or simply lived more fully. Don't wait for regret to teach you this lesson. Learn it now and change your life. Respecting your time also means understanding your priorities. Not all tasks are created equal, and spending hours on low-impact activities is the fastest way to stall your progress. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is often how fiercely they protect their time for high-value actions. This doesn't mean being busy for the sake of busyness, but being intentional with your energy and focus. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is to stop saying, "I don't have time," and start saying, "This isn't a priority right now." That simple change rewires your mindset to take ownership of your choices. When you say you don't have time, it's passive, like time is something outside your control. But when you say something isn't a priority, you reclaim your power to decide what deserves your attention. Let me share a story about someone who radically transformed their life by treating time as their most valuable asset. They used to scroll mindlessly through social media for hours, thinking it was harmless relaxation. One day, they realized that in just a few weeks, they lost dozens of hours that could have been spent learning a skill, exercising, or connecting with loved ones. This moment of clarity sparked a fierce respect for time. They started blocking out distractions, scheduling focused work sessions, and saying no to low-value commitments. Over months, their productivity skyrocketed, stress dropped, and they found more joy in every day because their time was theirs again. Respecting your time also demands ruthless prioritization. It requires honesty about what truly moves the needle in your life. If a task doesn't align with your goals or values, it doesn't deserve your energy. This is where most people struggle, because they let guilt, obligation, or fear dictate how they spend their days. But freedom comes when you learn to protect your time from these invisible chains. Another key to honoring your time is learning to minimize distractions and interruptions. We live in an age where attention is constantly hijacked by notifications, emails, and endless noise. Each distraction breaks your focus and fragments your time, leaving you exhausted and unproductive. Creating spaces and rituals that guard your attention isn't just smart, it's essential for high performance. It's also important to embrace the power of rest as a way to respect your time. Burning out doesn't speed you up, it breaks you down. Strategic breaks and downtime recharge your energy so you can make the most of your active hours. When you rest intentionally, you honor your body and mind, which ultimately makes your use of time more effective and sustainable. Respecting your time means you treat it with the seriousness it deserves. It means no more, "Just one more scroll," or "I'll start tomorrow" excuses. It means taking control and designing your life around what matters most to you. This discipline isn't easy at first. It requires confronting habits and patterns that have numbed your awareness. But the payoff is profound. A life lived fully, with purpose, clarity, and unstoppable momentum. Every moment you invest in protecting your time is an investment in your future. It's a daily act of courage and commitment that compounds over time. The habits you build today will shape the years ahead. Will they lead to regret or triumph? The choice is yours. Ask yourself, how much time do you waste on distractions disguised as relaxation? How often do you say yes to things that don't serve your goals because you're afraid to say no? These questions are uncomfortable but necessary. The answers reveal where you can reclaim your power. Respecting time also means embracing limits. You can't do everything, and you don't have to. Learning to focus on fewer things with more intensity creates quality and impact. Multitasking and overcommitting dilute your effectiveness and steal your time. Mastery of your time comes from saying no more than yes, so your yes has weight. The harsh reality is that time waits for no one. It doesn't care about your plans, your excuses, or your desires. It moves relentlessly forward, and every second lost is gone forever. This reality should inspire urgency, not fear. Urgency to protect what matters, to live deliberately, and to make every moment count. Imagine the power of waking up each day with a clear intention to respect your time. No wasted hours, no procrastination, no regrets. You show up fully for your work, your relationships, and yourself. You create a life where time becomes your ally, not your enemy. When you respect your time, you command respect from others. People notice when you're punctual, when you keep commitments, when you don't tolerate time wasting. This respect elevates your reputation and opens doors. Time discipline creates a ripple effect that transforms not just your schedule, but your entire life. Your time is the currency of your life. Spend it wisely, guard it fiercely, and honor it daily. The power to change your destiny lies in how you choose to use the moments you are given. Don't wait for tomorrow. Start today by valuing your time as the most precious asset you own. Take control, set boundaries, eliminate distractions, prioritize ruthlessly, rest strategically. Each step brings you closer to the life you want, a life where time works for you, not against you. Remember, the way you respect your time determines the quality of your life. Protect it as you would protect your most valuable treasure, because in truth, it is exactly that. Make the choice now to honor your time, and watch how your world transforms into a space where your dreams aren't just possible, but inevitable. Your time is your life. Live it fiercely. Chapter 19. Measure your results to stay honest and improve. If you're not measuring your results, you're living in a world of illusion, pretending progress is happening when it might be slipping through your fingers. Truth has a way of hiding when you don't look for it, and honesty with yourself is the foundation of real growth. The moment you commit to measuring your results, you break free from guesswork and self-deception. You step into clarity, where your efforts meet undeniable evidence. That's where transformation begins. Think about the most successful people in any field. What sets them apart is not just hard work, it's that they relentlessly track their progress. They know exactly what's working and what isn't, because they don't leave their success to chance. Without this discipline, you're just wandering aimlessly, hoping your efforts will one day pay off. But hope without proof is a fragile, unreliable guide. I want you to feel how powerful it is to look at the cold, clear facts of your journey. No sugarcoating, no excuses. Measuring results demands brutal honesty. It forces you to face where you fall short and where you shine. This truth can hurt, but it also lights the way forward. It reveals patterns, uncovers hidden obstacles, and points out areas where you can improve. If you ignore this, you remain stuck, spinning wheels in the mud of good intentions. One story that shows the power of measurement comes from a person who struggled with weight loss for years. They tried every diet and workout plan, but saw no lasting change. Frustrated, they decided to track every calorie, every workout, and every pound lost. This simple act of measuring brought reality into focus. They stopped lying to themselves about just one cheat meal, or I'll start fresh tomorrow. With each data point, they gained control. Progress became visible, motivation grew, and results finally followed. That level of transparency with yourself changes everything. Measurement is not about perfection or punishment. It's about learning. It's about creating a feedback loop where every action informs your next move. When you treat your progress like a science experiment, curiosity replaces fear. You start asking questions. Why did this work? Why didn't that? What can I do differently? This mindset leads to continuous improvement, the heartbeat of success. One of the biggest barriers to measuring results is fear of failure. Many avoid checking their progress because they dread bad news. But avoiding the truth only delays growth and compounds frustration. Embracing measurement is embracing courage, the courage to confront reality head-on and adapt. It's the difference between being a victim of circumstances and becoming the architect of your future. Another critical point is choosing what to measure. Not every number matters equally. Focus on metrics that directly align with your goals. If you want to build strength, track your lifts. If you want to grow a business, track sales or customer engagement. If you want to improve your mindset, track daily habits or mood. This sharp focus keeps your efforts targeted and prevents overwhelm. Don't fall into the trap of vanity metrics. Numbers that look good but don't drive real progress. Social media likes, hours spent busy, or random tasks completed won't move you closer to your dreams unless they connect to meaningful outcomes. Learn to distinguish between activity and achievement. Measurement forces this distinction clear. Technology can be a powerful ally in tracking results. Apps, journals, spreadsheets, tools abound to capture data. But tools are nothing without commitment. Measurement is a daily habit, a ritual that keeps you honest. It's the mirror, reflecting your reality, and you must look in it regularly without flinching. When you develop the discipline to measure consistently, you also build resilience. You begin to see setbacks as data points, not dead ends. Every failure becomes a lesson, every mistake a step forward. This mindset shift is profound because it transforms frustration into fuel. Instead of giving up when things get hard, you adjust, improve, and push through. Measurement also brings clarity to your efforts, preventing wasted energy. Without clear feedback, it's easy to work harder and harder without moving forward. Tracking results reveals where your energy leaks are, whether in distractions, ineffective strategies, or poor habits. This insight lets you cut what doesn't serve and double down on what does. The discipline of measuring creates accountability to yourself above all else. It's a daily contract where you promise to be honest, open, and ready to improve. This accountability becomes a shield against complacency and excuses. When you can't deny the facts, you can't hide behind lies. But measurement alone isn't enough. What you do with the data is what counts. After gathering information, you must analyze it, draw conclusions, and most importantly, take action. Without action, measurement becomes just a report card with no impact. You must turn knowledge into power by adapting your approach based on what the numbers reveal. In this process, patience is key. Real change takes time, and progress may come in fits and starts. Don't expect overnight miracles. Instead, celebrate small wins and incremental improvements. Each positive data point is a building block toward your ultimate goal. Remember that progress is rarely linear. There will be ups and downs, surprises and setbacks. Measurement helps you see beyond the noise, maintaining a steady course through uncertainty. It keeps your focus sharp and your vision clear. One powerful way to stay engaged with your results is to create a ritual around reflection. Set aside time each day or week to review your data. Ask yourself honest questions about what's working and what's not. This practice turns measurement into a powerful tool for self-awareness and growth. Your relationship with measurement also reflects your relationship with yourself. When you stop avoiding the truth and start welcoming feedback, you build trust in your own ability to improve. This trust is the foundation of confidence and self-mastery. Imagine living a life where you always know exactly where you stand. No more guessing, no more doubt, just clear, objective insight that guides you forward. This clarity frees you from anxiety and propels you with certainty. If you want to reach your highest potential, measuring your results isn't optional, it's essential. It transforms vague dreams into concrete realities. It turns effort into evidence. It makes you accountable to the person you want to become. The power of measurement lies in its ability to transform your mindset from reactive to proactive. Instead of being at the mercy of circumstances, you become the driver of your journey. You anticipate challenges, identify opportunities, and course correct in real time. This control is liberating because it reduces overwhelm and increases confidence. When you know your numbers, you make smarter decisions. You avoid burnout by focusing on what truly matters. You gain momentum that carries you through tough times. So start today by choosing one thing to measure, something that matters deeply to you. Track it with honesty and commitment. Use the insights you gain to refine your approach. Don't wait for motivation or perfect conditions. Take control now. As you build this habit, watch how your entire life transforms. Your goals become clearer. Your efforts become smarter. Your results become undeniable. You become the person who doesn't just dream but delivers. In the end, measuring your results is an act of love. Love for your future self and love for the life you want to create. It's a promise to yourself that you will not settle for less than your potential. Embrace the truth. Embrace the data, and embrace the growth that follows. The journey will not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. You are capable of more than you realize, and measuring your results is the key that unlocks that door. Take control today. Measure honestly. Improve relentlessly. Become unstoppable. Your best self is waiting, and it all begins with one clear step toward truth. Chapter 20. Repeat small wins daily to build unstoppable momentum. If you want to conquer life's biggest challenges, you don't have to start with giant leaps. You have to master the power of small wins, repeated every single day until momentum becomes unstoppable. Every great success is built on countless tiny victories that seem insignificant alone, but combine to create a force so powerful it breaks barriers, shatters doubts, and rewrites your story. Momentum doesn't come from luck or sudden inspiration. It's the product of consistent small actions, stacked like bricks, creating an unshakable foundation beneath your dreams. Imagine standing at the base of a mountain that feels impossible to climb. The peak disappears into the clouds, and the path looks daunting. Now imagine, instead of trying to leap to the summit in one go, you commit to placing one solid footstep ahead every day. No matter how small or slow, each step moves you forward, inch by inch, toward the summit. Over time, those footsteps create a path. Momentum builds, and what once seemed impossible becomes your new reality. That is the essence of repeating small wins daily, a practice so simple yet so profoundly transformative. It rewires your brain to crave progress, no matter how minimal it seems. This is what separates people who make lasting change from those who get stuck in endless cycles of starting and stopping. When you celebrate tiny victories, you fuel your motivation and build confidence. You prove to yourself again and again that you are capable of forward movement. Many people overlook small wins because they believe only grand achievements count. They think, if it's not big, it's not worth celebrating. This mindset traps them in a pattern of frustration and stagnation. The truth is, small wins are the secret compound interest of progress. Just as money grows exponentially through consistent saving, your success grows through daily small wins. Each positive action deposits momentum into your life's bank account. Here's something powerful. Small wins create positive feedback loops inside your brain. Every time you complete a task, no matter how small, your brain releases dopamine, a chemical that makes you feel good and motivates you to keep going. This natural reward system encourages repetition. When you harness it, you build unstoppable energy that propels you forward. But small wins don't just build momentum internally, they also influence your environment and relationships. When others see you making steady progress, they begin to respect your discipline and determination. You become a magnet for opportunities, support and collaboration. Momentum is contagious, and it attracts the forces that help you reach new heights. One story that highlights the power of small wins comes from a writer who struggled to finish a book. Overwhelmed by the size of the project, they forced themselves to write just one sentence every day. That's it. One sentence. Some days it was easy, some days it was painful, but they never missed a day. Months later, those sentences turned into chapters. Momentum carried them through self-doubt, distractions, and setbacks. Eventually, the book was completed and published. What felt impossible was conquered by tiny, repeated actions. Momentum created by small wins also builds resilience. When you face setbacks, your habit of progress keeps you moving forward. Even if you stumble, the foundation you've laid helps you bounce back quickly. The daily wins remind you of your strength and ability to persevere. This emotional resilience is critical because every journey towards success includes obstacles. It's important to recognize what counts as a small win. It doesn't have to be monumental or flashy. It could be making your bed, reading a page of a book, drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning, or sending an important email. These seemingly trivial actions build discipline and confidence, proving you can stick to your commitments. Many people get stuck waiting for motivation to strike or the perfect moment to start. But the truth is, momentum doesn't wait for permission. It grows from action, no matter how small. By repeating small wins daily, you train yourself to act even when motivation fades. This consistency becomes your superpower. There's a psychological principle called the progress principle, which explains why small wins have such a big impact. When people feel they are making progress, they experience positive emotions that boost creativity, energy, and focus. This emotional boost helps maintain long-term motivation and performance. On the other hand, lack of visible progress breeds frustration, exhaustion, and eventually burnout. To build unstoppable momentum, create a system that encourages daily wins. This could be a checklist, a journal, or even an app. Keep your goals visible and break them down into manageable daily tasks. Track your wins and celebrate each one. This ritual creates accountability and fuels the momentum engine. Be mindful to avoid the trap of chasing perfection or overwhelming yourself with too many tasks. Momentum is about sustainable growth, not sprinting to exhaustion. Small wins must be achievable and realistic. When you meet your daily goals, you build confidence that spills over into bigger challenges. Another important aspect is self-compassion. Progress is not a straight line. Some days you may not hit your targets, and that's okay. The key is to get back on track quickly and keep repeating the small wins. Forgiving yourself and maintaining commitment is part of the momentum-building process. Momentum also thrives on clarity and focus. When you know exactly what small win to target each day, you eliminate wasted energy and distractions. Ambiguity kills momentum. Define clear actions that directly contribute to your larger goals. This clarity helps you move forward with purpose and direction. In addition, sharing your small wins with trusted friends or mentors can amplify your momentum. External encouragement and recognition provide additional motivation to keep going. Community creates a support system that helps sustain your habits. Remember that momentum is a multiplier. Each small win doesn't just add to your progress, it accelerates it. Success builds on success, creating exponential growth over time. This is why consistent daily effort, even if small, outperforms sporadic bursts of intense work. Visualize momentum as a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's tiny and slow, but as it gathers more snow, it grows bigger and faster until it's an unstoppable force. Your small wins are the snowflakes that start this snowball. The bigger the snowball, the more energy it carries, breaking through obstacles with ease. Momentum affects not just your external achievements, but also your mindset. Success becomes a habit, and you start to see yourself as someone who follows through. This identity shift is powerful because it changes how you approach challenges and opportunities. You begin to expect progress and trust in your ability to deliver. If you want to break free from procrastination and frustration, start by repeating small wins every day. Don't wait for motivation or perfect conditions. Choose the simplest action that moves you forward and commit to doing it daily. Over time, these actions will compound into unstoppable momentum that transforms your life. The secret to lasting change is not dramatic breakthroughs, but consistent, small steps taken relentlessly. Momentum is the bridge between your current reality and your future potential. It's the engine that drives dreams into existence. When you commit to this process, you align your daily actions with your deepest desires. You create a feedback loop of success that fuels further progress. This loop becomes a force that no challenge can stop. Your future self is watching right now, waiting for you to start building momentum. Will you give them the gift of consistent small wins? Will you take that first step today, knowing it leads to something greater? The path to greatness is not paved with massive leaps, but with countless small victories, repeated until they become unstoppable. Momentum is your secret weapon, waiting to be unleashed. Take control, start small,